Hey, hello everyone.
Yeah. It's the gas station on Grooms-How. Let's drink up. I wanna see ya. I love each other. You wanna see ya. It's not too long.
Hello everyone. Good to see you all.
Feeling strong. I wanna see ya.
See ya. Hello. Greetings to you everyone. Welcome. I need you.
Yeah,
I need you. Yeah. Welcome. Hello. Let's go official. Good to see you. Welcome. Cornelius Oku Delete okay. Oh yeah. Wanyoma. Greetings. Good to see you, Queen. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming, Yo. Good kind Fisha. Good thing, right? If I'm not mistaken. Cornelius Oku Delete okay. Good to see you all. Welcome. Kindly thumbs up as you're coming in and share out the stream. Go, Charlotte. Yeah. Let's link up. Good to have every one of you here. Thank you so much.
Not too long. Gonna see ya.
Please, yeah.
Welcome.
A beautiful Tuesday to you all.
It's like a land of day. Wanna kiss you early in the morning. Go, shine. You know it's only you that I want. It's like a land of day. Wanna kiss you early in the morning. Go.
Wango will call my kedu kime. Kedu what call my kedu kime. Kedu wango. Good to have you all. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I appreciate every one of you. Good evening and happy Tuesday evening to you all. Welcome. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for joining the stream tonight. I am good, Wango. I thank God I'm good. Thank God for grace. And you, how have you been? How is work going? Hope it's been great so far. Welcome. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. If you can help me share out to your community, let's have more people come in here. Let's discuss. I am particularly happy that you're here, Wango, because you've been if you can later, you can jump on the link and we'll discuss about the traditional marriage in your place, the bride price, how it's done. Is that the same thing like back home in Nigeria? I know a lot of Africans have the same culture and have the same almost similar tradition, but like when it comes to marriage, but I don't know when it comes to bride price, how bride price is being done. Is it very exorbitant? Is it very expensive for a guy to get married? I mean, I'm not talking about the white wedding or the church wedding. I'm talking about the real African traditional marriage. I am Neki Wanyoma Ezigbo Wanyi Chukwu goziri agozi. Welcome. Good to have you here, Queen. Dalu Rine, thank you for joining the stream tonight. Dalu Wanyoma, thank you so much. Neki, where are you exactly? You don't mind telling me. Where do you reside exactly? Coach Mary, my mommy. Oh, my mommy. Happy birthday to you once again. Happy birthday to you once again. Thank you so much, Ma, for coming. Welcome, Ma. Thank you. Yeah, hello. Great topic as always. Thank you, mommy. Welcome. I wish you many more beautiful years ahead, and I pray you continue to grow and age gracefully. Welcome. Thank you so much. So tonight, Neki, where are you from exactly, Wanyoma? Hmm? So tonight we'll be discussing the consequences of asking heavy bride price on grooms. Okay, you reside in Spain. Oh, lovely, lovely. Darling, you're welcome. Thank you guys as you're coming in. Kindly smash the like, okay? Heavy bride price on men. We've been hearing that, we've been hearing a lot of guys complain over and over of how expensive it's becoming these days for a guy to get married. Now, I'm not even talking about the white wedding or court wedding, but the basic one, which is the traditional marriage. A lot of guys are complaining. You are from Anambra? Yes, Neki, I am equally from Anambra. I am from Anambra as well. So you're my sister. I'm from Otuocha, to be precise. And my husband is also from Anambra. Welcome. So a lot of guys are complaining that the bride price is something else. The basic things that a man just needs to do is becoming the most expensive due to the heavy taxing of these grooms and the in-laws by the bride's family. People are being taxed daily. Okay, mommy, you are the background. Okay, thank you so much. And who do we have up here? Wingo, thank you so much for jumping on the stream. Yeah, we
Hello,
can
hello.
start. Thank you so much. Wingo, comedy.
How are you, my sister?
Wingo,
Yes,
thank you so much. Welcome. Now,
you're
I'm going to
welcome.
start by asking you, Wingo, how expensive is traditional marriage, or how expensive is it to get a bride the traditional way? Not the church wedding, but like the traditional rites that is performed. How expensive is it where you come from? And then let us know where you come from exactly, okay? Time with Sadia. Thank you so much, Sadia, for coming. I appreciate you, Queen. Welcome. So, Wango, where are you from exactly? What part of Africa? And how is traditional marriage? Is it as expensive as it is in Nigeria? Because I'll be breaking down the traditional marriage in Nigeria, especially with a particular tribe, which happens to be my tribe. It's very,
Okay.
very expensive to get a wife. Welcome.
Okay, for those who don't know me, I'm Waingo Comedian. I'm a content creator from Kenya. So Kenya is
Okay.
from eastern part of Africa. And
Yeah.
concerning the topic of traditional marriage in Kenya, currently yeah, I can say we are not that too serious. Like when I say serious, the traditional way it is fading away. When I say it's fading, you know what I mean. Currently, people are
Okay.
adopting the Christian way. Let me say the Christian way of marriage. So it's not that too extensive in Kenya right now.
Okay.
And for your
Like what
information,
do you pay bride price? Like do you the
yeah,
groom's family, are they expected to
mhm.
bring certain things including money? What are those things?
Like in Kenya, mostly let me cover like most parts of most community in Kenya. The main bride price that people when maybe someone takes someone's lady or someone's girl, he's supposed to pay like cows. Like they measure the bride price in cows, like in cattle. Let me say livestock. Let me do it, but specifically cows. You know,
Oh, okay.
but they
Like
don't
how
value
many
money.
cows are demanded? How many
That
cows does the bride's
30,
family
30,
request for?
30 cows.
30 cows.
Yeah, with some little shapes, yeah, 30 cows. It's very expensive, yes. So like I know
How
you are
much
shocked
is a
about this.
cow sold where you come from? How much is a cow sold? Like 30 cows? Okay, now I am
You
humble.
know, they only measure if you can marry someone's daughter, and then the father-in-law insists that for you to take my daughter, you have to bring this amount, or you have this how many cattle that you are going to bring to my home. You know, it's an agreement. It's also as a result of how the father-in-law brought up this kid or her daughter, his daughter. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa,
Very
whoa.
things.
I
That's
think
why
why go hold it there. I think I need to ask Cornelius to go back to my village and present more cows. Like I think my family were too lenient or on him.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
Cornelius, if you're watching me right now, my husband, you are owing my family 30 cows. We are not negotiating. Many inspired. Welcome, Queen. Thank you
But,
so
but,
much for
but,
coming. Thank you, Sadia,
but
as well. Thank you so much.
spicy.
My husband, you are owing me 30 cows as far as I'm concerned. And in fact, monetize it and put it in my account. What? Why go
You
for
can,
real?
for sure, you can ask someone from Kenya. No.
Whoa. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. And this
Mm-hmm.
now can the young men over there, are they able to afford these 30 cows? Or for instance, is this something they can afford easily, or it's a bit high for them then?
Like in Kenya, we have a tribe called Masai. If you maybe
Yeah, I know
you
the
are
Maasai. Very
you know
tall people.
you know Masai, the one that normally jump. When I say jump, you know what
Yeah,
I mean. So Masai
jumping
are
very
not.
high.
Yeah. Like in Kenya, Masai are not to keep a lot of cattle, and like any other tribes in Kenya. And for example, for you to pay a pride price, or for you to pay a pride price, it takes a lot of time. When I say it takes a lot of time, like many families in Kenya, it takes like I can't measure, but some son-in-law has to measure himself. I mean, and to know, for sorry for that. It
Sorry.
takes a lot of time for a person like to measure to
To,
collect the
to, to,
required.
to be able to
um,
make such money and get such number
Yeah.
of cows.
So it's not an easy job, and it's not an easy task. So it needs you to be more serious with your marriage for you to make such a decision, and for you to be
Okay, now
respected.
what if
Let
you
me
can't
tell you.
afford 30 cows? Can you bring whatever you have? For instance, you're a struggling young man. Can
Yeah.
you just bring whatever you have and be paying up the rest later? Annie's inside. Welcome, gorgeous queen. Welcome. Thank you so much, Annie, for coming.
But like how can you say, we apart from paying bride price, we have something, the how do you call it, the son-in-laws go uh, go in their respective
In group.
father-in-laws, and have a negotiation. In this negotiation, uh, they agree. You see, there's an agreement they normally made. For example, in my
Okay.
family, but when I took my my older brother for paying bride price. There's a procedure that we made. We went to our father-in-law's house. We made a decision, because at that time, when you say our family, we didn't have at that a lot of kettles in our home.
Cow.
So we had to make an agreement with the father-in-law. But we found that father-in-law was a understanding person, and he agreed. No, he say, instead of bringing that kettle that has been our customs in the olden days, you can bring four. You see, we came from 30 to 4. But
Wow.
for you to be considered as a real, when I say real, for you to be considered as a real man, you need to make a huge price for your daughter, your father-in-law. Because we normally
Okay.
say in Kenya, for a person to nurture your wife from one day to the day you met with that daughter of his, you know there's a
Yes.
lot of things this father-in-law has made or has taken. He has sacrificed a lot for this daughter. So you also have to show that you really need this lady, or you need this daughter to be
Oh.
yours. So You need to show
Whoa.
that you are really, really man for you to take this thing.
Yeah, you need to show that seriousness and show
Yeah,
proof that you are a real man and you are capable of
yeah,
taking care of their daughter. Welcome,
that's
sweet pea, gorgeous woman. Thank you so much, Nancy Licious. Welcome. Thank you guys for coming. Please thumbs up the stream as you're coming in. Whoa, so even if you cannot afford the 30 cows, at least
there's a
make effort to
negotiation.
afford some, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting to know. I mean, I never knew that Kenyans for the traditional marriage, I mean for the bride price you need at least like 30 cows. Okay, I think my husband is owing my family as far as I'm concerned. He has to go
But
back and
but
get more cows.
but that's our nature. Maybe you are being too harsh for him. That's what he provided. Oh,
Yeah. Whoa, thank you so much. Honestly, this bride price thing has made a lot of young guys, run away or shy away from getting married early. Now, something happened, that's something I'm going to read out here from a group. That's a woman who is having issues. Now, this is just one example out of many, which is what I want to read out here now. The way Africans are diverse, we also have different cultures relating to marriages. Yes, 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 absolutely. Now, let's read this, and then when more people come in, I might go back to it. He says, "Good evening, ma. Please post for me. I am getting married by December, this December. I'm getting married by December. My fiance lives in Europe. He is from Ebonyi State and I am from Imo State. His people have come to our house to collect the list. The list of the bride price that they write and give to the groom, the things he is supposed to provide for the family." Welcome, Adande Talk Show. Wanyoma Dalurine. Thank you for coming, Queen. Thank you so much, and thanks for the thumbs up. Kindly smash the like. So she said, his people have come to our house to collect the list. Now the problem is that since he collected the list, it has changed. If I ask him for money for my upkeep, he will say I should wait till he finished settling my family. The list is much, I know, but it doesn't mean he does not know his responsibility. But does it mean he doesn't know his responsibility? Just 3 days ago, his elder brother called my father and asked that the list be reviewed, that it was too much, and that in their place, it is not when one wants to marry that they give him community assignment, indirectly saying that in their place it is cheaper. It is not when one want to marry, they give the person a huge list, a community assignment to do. Now he said, I was angry. I asked him why his brother would say that and that it is not right. He said that his brother is his father now and doing the right thing. Now his sister called and said said they pay everything on the list. That if they pay everything on the list, that it will be small traditional marriage and money mass wedding, that he has things to do in their own side too, that also my family should take care of food and drinks for our own visitors, while they take care of food and drink for their own. I have told him I don't think I am interested anymore and that the marriage should be cancelled if he is not ready. He said, okay, till now he has not called. Meanwhile, he is always online. Even the money for my upkeep, I have not seen. I don't know how to approach this. I am the first daughter of my family and I cannot do anyhow wedding. Whoa, Oyoyo Wanyoma, welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much. Now, I don't know if you all heard what I just read out. Now, this is the predicament, Wanyoma. Welcome. It is the predicament of a lot of young guys hustling. It is their nightmare. In fact, their greatest nightmare is traditional marriage, if you ask me. Heavy tasking. Heavy tasking on young men. And you wonder why a lot of them get to 45, 50 and they're not yet married. It is sad. Welcome, Queen. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me, beautiful host. And greetings to
Thank
everybody
you.
in the chat. How you all doing?
Good
This,
evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to
this
have
is
you
a
here. You know that.
yeah, this is a very interesting topic, honestly, and I hope our fathers, I hope they are listening because I know tradition, but situations like this, you have to review some of those lists, but they don't ever do that. They don't ever do
Hmm,
that. They will tell you that if Mazio KK's daughter did their own, is it now me that you want to come and disgrace and all
thank
of that?
you.
But there are still some communities that bride price is 35 naira and it's still 35 naira. Communities like Onitsha, the bride price is very, very low. And there are still other communities that their bride price is as well very low. But the thing is this, if you happen to fall in love with a woman, I'm going to cite one or two, will I say communities because of, things I know about those communities. If you're marrying from Mbise, you have to get ready.
Hmm.
If you're
Don't
marrying
even,
from
in fact, don't even start with the MBCs.
if you're marrying from Mbano, you have to get ready. And it's not the one that you just say, I met this person, I fell in love under 6 months, you're married. That means you must have saved money before meeting that lady. So
Mm-hmm.
my closest friend those days in Nigeria, she's from Mbise. So eventually when I had the time to like do the girls catch up and gossip, I asked her, how did you do about your bribery price? She said, that the husband started complaining and complaining. They had to split the bill, that she contributed 450,000 naira to support the husband. When I mean 450,000, it's not of today's money. Oh.
That was
That
then when
yeah,
450 was like 4.5 million.
yeah. So that would have been like 9 years ago or 10 years ago. So people should understand. And then one of my auditors, she's from Mbise, she said her own husband laminated the list, framed the list, and then hung it somewhere in his bedroom as a reminder how much the Mbise people charged him, a Yoruba man, when he came to marry.
What? 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 In fact, I think it is enough to laminate it and frame it. In fact, that man needs to paste the list in the kitchen, in the bedroom, in the sitting room, and every corner of the house. Queen, welcome. Please, 1 second. Let me welcome some persons here who just came in. Nancy Leash. Yes. Thank you so much for coming, Queen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Nancy Licious, AE29 PA, gorgeous. Thank you so much. Onyiwanyoma, welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone here. Please kindly thumbs up the stream as you're coming in, okay? When it is enough to laminate that thing, if you want to start with UBC and Mbano people, we will not leave here because their bride price is usually so high that the bride price for one lady can be used to marry 5 or 10 other beautiful ladies from other communities. Trust
Yes,
me.
that is given, because in some BC people you have to buy, motorcycle, motorbike. You have to buy
Yes, ladies
motorbike.
machine.
Yes, ladies machine. You buy ladies machine, you buy sewing machine. Then you
Hey,
now start buying wrappers and all those gifts. So, but the thing is that we are not going to forbid our culture. You understand? But what I'm thinking is this, when they give you that long list, there is core list and there is a huge list. In my community, for example, there is list for Umonna, which is the mandatory list. You understand? You can fulfill. Anybody can afford to buy the list for Umonna. Anybody, whether you're a carpenter
but the
or
Umuna list today is also being doctored, and a lot of things are being added to that Umuna list today. Now, it's no longer that easy Umuna list. It's like Umuna are becoming more and more greedy.
no, I'm not sure they do, but if you want to do the bride price, that's where you do the Omona list, which is still affordable. But when you now want to do the traditional marriage, the list get longer because the things you now have to provide will be long. You understand? So for me, if a woman knows that my husband cannot afford this, but he can afford to pay my bride price, it's not a must you have a traditional marriage. You understand? You can do your
Yeah.
bride price. They'll pay your bride price. You settle your Omona people. They will take you and leave. Then if you now want to do the wedding, if you have money, you can go ahead and do it. But if you have money to throw on the traditional marriage, make sure you throw it and then forget the white wedding and go to registry and do
But
registry if you want to do registry.
Nwanyoma, and you know what? They also charge based on the lady's educational qualification, or like if she's just a secondary school certificate holder, it's a bit less. If she went to secondary school, yeah. If she went to high institution, a first degree, okay, the bride price has increased. If
Host,
she has
host,
second degree, it has gone
host,
up.
host, see,
Somebody like you that have 3 degrees, sorry, your bride price, if you
host,
are from that place, I get you.
host, see, all this thing we are talking about is greed. Because the father of the bride can decide to say, nah, give me 200 naira, but make sure you marry my wife well. Everything in terms of the amount, you understand, the price. There is no a specific price pegged on anybody. It can be negotiated. So the father of the bride, if the person is not greedy, if he's a man who lijula for or won't care for julu, you understand? Won't care for julu
Yes.
is a contented man. You understand?
He
That
will not
takes
be he
pride.
will not be thinking about selling his daughter. All his concern will be is you taking care
Care
of
of
his
my
daughter,
child.
proper care of his
Care of
daughter.
my child. That
Any
is just it.
pararam, Asigekwa we bring her back home.
I tell
We can
you,
take care of her.
see, as a young girl, as a young girl, when I was about 8 years old, my uncle, I went to visit my big auntie. She's late now, my big auntie of blessed memory. I went to visit them for holidays, and the daughter was getting married. You understand? That day, the groom presented the money for the bride price with his family. The father of the girl now said that, listen, the thing is that no matter no amount of money you give me that will quantify my child or even describe what my child means to me, that this is my last daughter I'm giving away in marriage, and I need you to do me one favor: respect her, love her, treat her well. I don't need your money.
Mm.
You know the way they presented the money. He just laid hand on the money and prayed and asked for this favor and asked them to take back the money. So everything boils down on the parent, the father of the girl. But where I have a
Thank you.
problem, where I have a concern, not a problem, where I have big concern is when the father of the bride is no longer alive. That's when those
They take
wicked uncles,
advantage of the family, they take
the,
advantage of it.
all the wicked uncles will now wake up to their with all their wins, carrying everything on their shoulder. Yes, they must pay this one, they must do this one. Now, come on. But
And
again,
these are people who don't even know how this girl eats, how she went to school, how the mother has been surviving. They don't know.
do they even care
They
about
don't
the girl?
know.
They don't care about the girl. All they need is just do all of those and let's collect our share. That's what
Cornelius is asking, he said, co-host, what about the Kenyans that request 30 cows?
the
Mommy
Kenyans,
Pechi, Mommy,
30
welcome. Thank
cows.
you so much for coming. Yes, I just had Wango Comedy. He came up on the stream and would discuss, and he said over in Kenya, the bride price that is requested for is 30 cows. 30 cows. So, but it's
Wait,
negotiable. Like if you don't have up to 30, at least you can negotiate to some certain extent with your father-in-law. He will consider if the man is a good man. Just the same thing we're discussing back home. If you have father-in-law
okay.
that is very understanding and loving and that cares about the welfare of his daughter, not selling the daughter, he can reconsider and they can slash the list and allow you just pay the basic ones, which are the most important on the list.
Okay, host 30 cows. And we didn't see that when the Maya went to marry Miss Trudy. We saw one tiny cow and one small goat. That was what we saw.
Well, that is
However,
what I saw as well, and I'm still going to research on that one. You know,
yeah,
Africans to get married. I have checked African countries. It seems as if the bride price is something that cut across, like very very heavy all round, like one way or the other you get to pay. Now I don't know how Miss Judy's parents did that, because I too saw the tiny cow that the Maya carried to the bride's family. Think it was it just one or two tiny cows,
one
and
tiny
then
cow
that's
and
it.
one small goat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
this
you
thing
see,
is
this thing has to do with families, families that are greedy, families that just think they want to sell their daughter. This is an opportunity to make money to complete that building they've been eyeing. And you know the funny thing, do you know that there are some families that will request that the groom must sponsor the other children in high institution, especially the boys. So the boys actually
now
sit back and wait for the girl to get
now
married.
it boils down to what I said before. If he's a
Mm,
nwoke for Julu, a contented man, or nwoke elijula
mm,
for, people should
yeah.
work hard and make their own money and stop looking up to people's children to come and raise their children for them. That
Mm,
has to stop. And it's stopping with our generation, because our generation, we are talking about independence, we are talking about self-sufficiency, we are talking about entrepreneurship and all of that, self-made human beings. So the men of our generation should wake up. Work hard and raise your children. If you think you can afford 20, make sure you put your foot down to provide for the 20 you're bringing to this world. Not when one of your daughters woke up to get married. That's when you remember, oh, I have 7 left, so Oga, before I agree, you have to take care of. No, that is not part of the bride price. It is greed and poverty.
Greed.
Let's call
You
it what
mentioned
it is.
ladies' machine now, sewing machine for the mother, ladies' machine for the father, and I'm asking, like, and then some people even grinding machine, 100 tubers of yam, 5
Yeah,
Ecolak boxes filled with clothes and jewelries and shoes. You buy a set of Hollandis for the mother. You buy set of you buy clothes for the father. You buy you apart from settling the mother and the woman and all those things, and then you wonder why some women are badly treated in their homes, why some husbands. I have seen a man who have refused letting the wife after 5 years of marriage to go see her parents. He banned her from going to see her parents. Said, I have bought you. What they did to me before I was able to marry you, you will not see them until I'm satisfied. This
you
lady
see?
can't go to her parents. When she had a first and second child, nobody came. The man forbid any of her relatives, from coming to for Mugo.
You
He brought
see?
only his people. Only his siblings come to the house. She can't bring any of her siblings. He
Yeah.
fulfilled everything they wanted, because when he was begging, they refused. And this guy loved this lady so much. They refused. This guy begged, and he had to sell off certain valuable things to be able to marry this lady. And since then, he vowed that nobody from her family is coming to the house.
Do you
So
blame
the
the guy?
lady is just feeling so as in
Host, I have
desperate.
a
She's
question. Do you blame
yeah.
the guy? If that guy happened to be my brother, I will make sure that they don't even step foot in that house.
I don't
I
blame him.
will.
But I don't blame him. Now, what is the way forward? How do we? I think women will have more say. Women should have more say, especially our mothers, and even we, the women that they are getting married, that are getting married. We should have a voice, because at the end of the day, we are at the receiving end of it. If our husbands were heavily taxed during traditional marriage and we allowed it, and sometimes some ladies, they know that this thing is too expensive for the man. They know the guy's pocket, they know his bank account, know what he can afford and what he can't afford. They will keep quiet. No, I can't say anything. My friends, they will now say, no, he has the money, has to work, he needs to know my value. It is not by that bride price that man will know your value. It is
Yeah.
what you are worth that matters to the guy.
Yeah. The thing you're saying way forward. Way forward, I would say we'll start with women. And then women, I'm talking about the young girls getting married. Before you
Anna
even
Bai,
start,
sorry. Welcome, Anna Bai. Welcome.
welcome, Anna. Welcome, sis. Before you even start to like say, okay, I'm now engaged, you have to talk to your father as a young girl growing up. Mommy Fechi said something in your live stream yesterday. My daughter is
Yeah.
just 12 years old. She heard it, what Mommy Fechi was saying, why passing? Do you know what she told me? She said, Mommy, I hope you're listening to that the woman talking. It's not when it is now my time to be getting married. Be reminding me that Abigail has gotten married. Josephine is married. When is your turn? She's 12. But she heard Mommy Fechi. She re-emphasized it to me. So young women, before you even say propose, hey, I'm proposed, I'm engaged, start talking to your father. Daddy, see, all this lavishing money, I would rather prefer to have that money and save the money for my
Especially if
children's
you know your
education.
father is the greedy type. You know your father. I know
Yes,
my
now.
father. You know your father. So you should start early, like you are saying. Start early. You
They should
know the
start
man that
early.
gave birth to you. So you start
Absolutely.
early.
And again, I have 5 sisters, okay, and my mother is a widow. When my big sisters got married, the first person that got married in my house, it actually wasn't our first daughter that was the first. So when she got married, my mother knew that they might say this, that. She went all out. You know that list they gave her for traditional marriage. She
Yeah.
fulfilled it to the later. And at that time, it was Hollandis they were giving us rappers. Hollandis. It wasn't this one.
Yeah.
And then the
Now it's high target.
high
High
target. No,
target.
it was
Zberry,
Hollandis.
welcome.
It was Hollandis they
High
were giving
target
us
is what
at the
they
time.
use today.
Yeah, they were giving Hollandis at the time. You understand? My mother made sure that every wada in that my omona got a piece of wrapper. What she bought at the time was 18 pieces for the omada, and then there were people that were, kind of kind to her, so she added extra more to make. She got 21 pieces of Hollandis.
What?
21.
And Hollandis is very expensive.
Yeah, this
Back
was
then,
many,
very, very
many years
expensive.
ago. Many years ago. When Hollandis was
Wow.
Hollandis. When it was a real material, not this one they're printing now. And why did she do it? She said, okay. She gave the list. The man said, okay, fine. Because the man is also from our community. So we understood each other. You understand? So it wasn't a big deal for them to fulfill it. They started on time. My mother took like more than 3 months to prepare and all of that. Then
Whoa.
when it was the second daughter getting married, you understand, she said, oh, Mona, make una wait to. I have fulfilled every obligation with my first daughter. Don't come now and start taxing me this one. If my in-law says he cannot afford this, I am not doing it. They looked at my
Whoa.
mother again. They said, my mother said, Bam, I am not doing it if he cannot afford it. I will make sure I fulfill what the list is saying to the Omona list. That's why I'm so I was kind of hammering on the Omona list. That one is affordable. Anybody that really said I want to marry. Because you can't be telling me I want to marry when you cannot pay bride price. You have to make sure you can feed somebody's child before you bring that woman to your home. So anybody that is man enough to take care of another mouth in his family can fulfill that right. Maybe 7 tubers of yam, 2 crates of malt, and 4 cartons of beer. People can afford to buy those. You
Yes,
understand?
yes.
But when you now want to
But
do
that
the
is not what is written in Umuna list today. 1 second, please. Rose Hujo, welcome. Thank you so much. Give Tono Hawanyoma Dalono. Welcome. Thank you so much. Please, guys, can you smash the like, okay? Can you smash it? And if you can share, please share out to your community. Wanyoma, you are talking about that Umuna list. If you go and check that Umuna list, it is no longer the way it used to be. It has been doctored so much.
It's still the same. It hasn't changed. It's still the same in my community.
Really?
Yes, it's still the same.
Okay.
In my community. The only thing that changed, if I will really tell you, that they will now be changing the brand of drinks. You understand? Initially, those days when life was good, they'll take the highest brand. If it's Martina that was, they will take Guinness Malt. But now things are now difficult. So people are even coming down. If you can afford Guinness malt, okay, buy Maltina. You understand? Live beer.
Yeah.
Because the taste of live beer is now accustomed to the Easterners. They will tell you live
Yeah.
beer must be there. Don't go and buy
Yes.
Golden Guinea. It must be live
Or
beer.
Cronenberg.
You understand? So that's the specifications that change, but the list is still the same. So my mother gave out 6 girls in marriage, 6 girls, but she stood her ground. You know what? When they were telling her, mango, or say, no, 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 no. Now, when I was paying school fees, nobody contributed 5 naira. So please, I have everything to decide. And also, again, women, no matter what the situation is, even if you're a widow and you decide to remain unmarried and stay there to raise your children, stamp your feet on time. Don't just go be begging people things. Find something your hand can do in your young age as a young woman, so that tomorrow you have a better chance of defending whatever decision you and your small family decide to go.
Absolutely.
So the thing is that people that are poor in the spirit, you understand? People that are not contented, you understand? People that are looking for what the society will say, get influenced. They will even encourage their parents to tell them, please, oh, this is what my husband can afford. They say, no,
No,
so
they don't.
They don't.
You see young ladies, and you know the funny thing, mothers are the most greedy here. I'm coming one moment, host. Rose Hujo, welcome. Gift or not, welcome. Austonia family, welcome. Thank you, guys. Please, as you're coming in, kindly smash the like in case you haven't done so, so you don't forget. What did you miss? Well, you haven't missed much because we are discussing bride price, high bride price, heavy bride price, especially back home in Igbo land. And not just in Igbo land, in other tribes as well. So for those who are not Igbos, please, if you can come up, jump on the link. Let us discuss how these things are done in your place. Are they too expensive? Are they things that your young men can easily afford? Because what I know in Igbo culture, some places are very, very cheap. Wanyoma, do you know that where I come from, True Mamle, welcome. Thank you so much, Ma, for coming. Kindly smash the like, Ma. Welcome, welcome. Where I come from, bride price. I don't know. Now I forgot indeed. When I got married, I need to ask my husband this when he gets back home. When bride price is paid, they take, is it 20 naira or is it 2,000? I can't remember. I need to ask my husband. Okay, and they return the money. For instance, 20,000 naira. They're going to take 2,000 from it, and they return 18,000 to the
they do
man.
that.
Yeah, and they will tell the man, "This we are not selling her. This money we are just holding it." But the day she's no longer interested, the day you feel that you are no longer interested in this marriage and you want to start maltreating her or punching her, disrespecting her, come back and we'll give you back this money. We are not using it. It is tied somewhere. And they will return the remainder of the money to the man. So that tomorrow the man will not feel he has paid. Then whatever is on the list can be adjusted. Personally, my own experience, when I was about getting married, I saw the list, okay, and then I looked at it and I felt, okay, there are certain things that need to be removed here or slashed a bit here. And I spoke to my dad. I'm my daddy's girl. I am my daddy's daughter. My daddy will do anything for me. My daddy loves me so much. That I know. So I went to him, I know how to get my daddy. And I went to him, Daddy, I said, Daddy, look. He called me and he showed me this. I said, Daddy, this list, and then my daddy agreed. He said, look at it, whatever you feel you're not comfortable with, remove it. And I told him, I said, these ones, I don't think they're necessary. These ones, they are not, and then everything was done. Do you know why? I don't want them to see that, oh, my husband, I don't want them to think my husband has the money, he can afford everything. You get the point? And then tomorrow they start calling, Ogo. No, I want them to still feel, no, he can't afford all these things. You get the point? And it was reduced until today. If my daddy calls, my husband answers. You get the point? He doesn't even need to call. My husband does his part as a husband, as an in-law. But a lot of women cannot, they don't have the voice to request for one pin from, for their father. Even though they have the money to give to their father. But do you know that ego gonna toto?
Yeah.
Ego on a toto. There's nothing as sweet as your ogo saying, "Nah, ogo we're kanu and welcome. Use this one and welcome your guests at home." You get, or your in-law is celebrating something. Your husband can't and won't do anything, and you don't have the voice because you and your family have drained him during the traditional marriage.
Yeah, it's still gonna happen tomorrow. Okay, so we just have to keep talking. I remember it was it last week during one of your live streams. I talked about a man paying bride price. He couldn't stock his store in Onitsha main market at the time. So basically,
Imagine that.
he sold almost everything in his store to go and marry from Mbise. So the thing is that women, when I mean women and young girls, but you know why I say it's still going to happen tomorrow? Now, people are being influenced by social media. They don't know if the people they are looking up to did, if they borrowed their wig to take picture, or if they borrowed boutique clothes to wear to take pictures. But that's what they are looking at. That's their influence. And then you tell me that these kind of people being influenced by material things will go and have the guts to tell their father to slash something. They would rather push the man to go and do yahoo and get money to pay their bride price. So it's still our responsibility, as mothers, to keep teaching our young kids. Let their eyes calm down. Let that eye calm down, because what you cannot afford, don't put your eyes there. If you're marrying a young man, maybe 2 years older than you can contribute money to do that. I told you how my friend from Mbise did it. They split the money because she wants to get married. She told me that she contributed 450,000 for her traditional marriage. So in that case, the husband stopped complaining. But this one, if you're a girl listening to us, you can talk to your father. If you can't talk to your father, if you have a job, contribute money. You don't have to call it that you contributed in paying your bride, but you can say, honey, I know this marriage thing is really stressing you up, that I've been saving money by the side, this is how much I'm contributing to whatever we are doing. You
absolutely
say it nice. And then all this gra, that day you now still chip into your father, say, daddy, this thing you are doing to my husband is really doesn't worth it. Because at the end of the day, the man will be thinking that you've sold that to your daughter. Can't you just think about it from that perspective? I don't want to be sold. Okay, I don't want to be sold. I want to be respected. Do you know what happened in my case? When I did my traditional marriage and all of that, it was of course, nobody was expecting so much from my husband. Nobody was expecting less either. Let him fulfill what is expected. You understand? Not overboard of anything. Then eventually, I was married in absence, if I will put it that way. So somebody represented me. Then when we went back home to Nigeria, before we got to my parents' place, my husband had called my mother, say, Mama Biko, go and look for Nkpi Barawa, that I'm coming to visit my in-laws. So my mother went to the market, they looked for he-goats, the big one. They bought the big one, yeah, they bought the big goat. Then when he came into the compound, he called all my own one that they were in the village. They gathered that he wants to greet them. And this is his own offer with a bottle of Hennessy and the he-goat, just to tell them, thank you for giving me your daughter in marriage. I wasn't there when it all happened, but I'm here now, and this is me. Do you know my village people? They say it has never happened. Now go mechego,
you understand? You come back and greet them because they didn't rip him off.
Yeah, so it was like everybody in the village.
Nyoma, please hold the thought here. Just hold that thought 1 second. Silver Reality, thank you so much for coming. Zberry, I appreciate you. True Mamle, welcome, ma. Thank you so much. Rose Hujo, thank you so much. Nello Side, welcome, welcome. I appreciate everyone here. Please kindly thumbs up. Somebody came up and dropped again. I don't know if it was by mistake. Please, the link is there, okay? Click on it and jump back in, okay? Let's hear your side. Let's know how it is done, where you come from, and how do we need to rub minds together, because if it doesn't affect us, it's going to affect our daughters. If it doesn't affect our daughters, okay, maybe our sisters are there. You know, we just need to speak up. We just need to find a way out, because more and more ladies are getting themselves, into trouble after traditional marriage. The ball is welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Please, guys, smash the like, okay? Smash the like as you're coming in. Smash the like, please. So, Wanyoma, please go on. It has never been done, because it is only when your in-laws treat you well that you can always come back and say, thank you so much for your kindness, for your love, for accepting me as a son-in-law.
Yeah, they were surprised because they had to, the way they killed the goats. All of them had to come and take the part of the meat. You understand? They were so happy, and they now gathered together. They after the whole thing, they made the pepper soup. The usual pepper soup they do with all the things inside the goat. All of those. So they now came to eat together. That day, if you see prayers, upon prayers, upon prayers, upon prayers. What am I saying? Then my uncle, that one will be another discussion that we are going to talk about it in another live stream. That there is no now telling the young people around. One of actually my cousin, but I will call him uncle because they are way, way older than me. Some of them are even older than my mother. So now said that you see, if you went to school and did not go playing around, she concentrated on education and then eventually got married. And then look at now, married a good man. The man came back to bless them again after the whole thing. So it became a lesson for people. And I keep saying it, if your husband can afford it, let the husband take good care of it and pay the least. Whereby your husband cannot afford it, I'm holding my ear. Any young woman listening to us, if your husband cannot afford it, or your fiance or whatever cannot afford the least, talk to your father. Girls have a way to their father's heart. Figure out what works for you. Talk to your father. There is this thing my husband told me, that some of the first daughters in their family they were never married. They are the first set of girls in their family never married, because their father felt, their fathers, the ego, the Amayabo of the place now felt who can come and marry my daughter now? That kind of a thing. Is he the subject that will come and marry the princess? That kind of situation. And then if he hears, even those that he now gave her, because he refused to give them out in marriage, that they can't treat them well. They can't do this. They can't. Do you understand? So the people, the ones that he gave out, the moment he heard that the girl coughed and came back with black eye, that's the end of the marriage. The man will tell you, send people, his delegate, cabinet, go bring my daughter back. That's the end of the marriage. So women, girls, they have a way to their father's heart. They should be able to talk to their father, especially if your husband is a beginner and cannot afford the least. Don't go and kill your marriage, because of bride price.
Imagine in this tight economic situation back home. Look at how things are so expensive back home today. You go and price one onion today, go back to the market tomorrow, it has increased. The price has gone up. The inflation is not smiling at all. And then we see people getting married, but more and more men are getting scared. Like, there's this group I belong to. Whenever you mention marriage, honestly, if I open the chat in these groups, you wait for a lot of young guys. The way they are seeing marriage now, it's as if it's a very huge project. And whenever I say, look, it's not supposed to be like that, they say, forget. That's what we will say. As a lady, if you even come there and say, oh, guys, get married, they say, get married. You want your parents to finish us with high bride price? They keep complaining
Yeah,
that
we
no,
listen.
they're not ready to get married until they've made that money. And you're wondering, is it that bad? Is it that bad? Young men who are ready and matured, how can somebody go and sell off everything in the store to get married? And then after that, what happens? What are they going to eat? And then you now top it with white wedding, extravagant white wedding, and then court wedding. All these things at what expense? Mommy Ifechi, welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Hello,
Thank you,
Yo-Yo.
Mommy
Welcome,
Fetchy.
mommy.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
I was
you,
just in the
mommy.
back. I was
We
just
are
in the
here crying,
background.
oh. We are crying on the heavy bright price already in some
Yes,
places.
so I've been listening. So I said to myself, let me come. I have a few examples. Obviously, in my own family, and I'm sure you've heard me say before that we're 6 girls. My
Mm,
mom had us 6 girls and one son. And so when we are all getting married, my dad didn't live in the village. So all the email and things were all done where he was based at Nsukka. When it comes to
mm,
doing the traditional thing, it was done in Rift. But he never bothered anybody if they say anything. And they kept saying to him, "You have been in townships too long. This is not how we do it here." And they'll all be angry with him. But he said, "No, I'm not selling my daughters. I just want them to be happy when they get married." So there was it wasn't a big deal at all at the time, if I can remember, us getting married. But what I've noticed recently is because our first son, who is married to an Inewi girl, there was somebody that he would have married, and from Owerri side, Ngugo, they call that place. Thank God that did not work out eventually. We went up to the extent of them asking for what they call list. They asked for the list and brought to us. Our son, being a British and not understanding all these things, but he wanted traditional. He just wanted everything that needs to be done back home to be done. He's that kind of. He's very traditional compared to his brothers. Anyway, so when these people gave my husband the list, hey, the person that is Onyake Ebe, who is like the next
eh,
person that in this country as well, and so the man is from Newi. When he looked at the list, he's like, "What is going on? Do you know that in this age, I'm talking that this happened in 2020, but thank God that did not go ahead. They couldn't, there's one or two things that was detected and that was called off. Thank God for that. But the list they presented, there were things like um, Saint Maurice. What is Saint Maurice? Is it not cigarette?
the
Saint
Morris
Maurice.
regret.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It was on the list. Jean and these people, from what we can see, because they live in this country as well, and they got this list from their village. They live here. And then St. Maurice, and we're all Christians. Well, talk about born again Christians. What is St. Maurice doing on this list? Jean, Jean,
Chat with Chika.
GL, GL. When did I hear about GL last? In the how many years ago? GL for the mother. Then listen to this one. 20,
GL
GL.
jewelry, right?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
GL for the mother, rapper for onyenwa, nkewa for the youth. That is it. If you see this list, my brother-in-law in Nigeria looked at everything and said to us that this thing is not less than 2 million. What they put down there, just for Iwanku. I'm not talking about wedding yet. After looking at this list, my husband said to the father of this girl, "Did you see this list before you sent it to me?" He said yes. That this is even less, so they normally will do it more. My husband just looked at him and think, who is this man? Who am I even? How am I even going to get this as an in-law? Telling me that this is even and and then this girl has a younger brother. Obviously, that younger brother is the oldest son. So 28,000 for the older son, being that younger brother, and 20. If you see the list, and we're wondering, is it because we are abroad, or will you present? My husband said, will you present the same list for somebody who is in your local village? Now let's just be real here. Will you present the same list, or is it because they heard that we are
Absolutely
abroad?
no.
Exactly.
No.
So the whole thing was just so ridiculous. If you look at that list, you get so embarrassed. Some of the things they are putting there, dry gin, this and this that St. Morris one just got cracked us up. I'm like,
Mommy,
what?
mommy, they didn't add a motorcycle and sewing machine in that list.
No, because I think in Mbise people are the ones that does that. And I heard that
Yeah.
in Mbise, they're all there. All their ladies are there in the house because people are running away. People don't know what they're doing to their
Running
ladies.
35, 40, 45,
Yes,
single.
they're all in
No,
they're
they
all
are
in the
dead in
house
their
because
father's house.
once you mention Umbi, say hey, because that's the motorcycle people and all those things and the list in that area. I don't understand all this. What are people thinking? What are they thinking? And as you say, when people now get married, they start maltreating the woman because they think that they have paid through their nose to have you, and you dare not even say anything else or demand anything or do anything, and that marriage will not be. There's no happiness in that marriage. So what kind of thing is that? So there are certain places, but now when we now went the other way around, and the person my son is marrying now is from Newi, we thought, what is? In fact, there's no that's even, the list is just like just get what you want, and then the bride price was like, the difference was so clear. So I think it depends on certain part of in Igbo land that does
Yeah.
this, and mainly Imo State and Anambra State. Maybe there may be certain parts of Anambra that are doing this, or families. But from my observation, Imo State and certain part of Imo State in particular,
Yeah.
especially the Owerri side, Mbise, those people are
Mbano.
so
Yeah.
Mbano, all those Mbitolindi, all those Mba words, they are all.
Mm.
That like that. I don't know what they are doing, and it's affecting their daughters because they're not
It's
getting married.
affecting them.
People are
Yeah.
running
Yeah.
away. People are running
What
Mm.
away.
Mommy Fechi
So,
said now brought me
mm,
to what happened to my friend. She's from MBC. Then
uh-huh.
the guy, another colleague from a different branch, started liking her. They took the girl out for the first date. They went from work. She was like, "I said, okay, Nick, don't go and embarrass me, or just go and be yourself." That was the end of the day. The moment the man heard that she's from MBC, the guy never called again, never checked her
Oh
again.
God.
In fact, they don't even come to our branch again. That was end of
Oh
discussion.
God. Oh
You
God.
see,
End
you
of
see what
Oh
I
discussion.
God.
mean?
Sorry, let me welcome some persons here. Lily Talks, my God, you caught me today. I'm so happy. Thank you. Chat with Chika, welcome. Thank you so much. Very welcome. Please, guys, the link is here. Don't forget to thumbs up. Okay, this is a conversation that concerns and affects us directly or indirectly. We need to put mouth so that whoever is coming, we just need to raise our voice and say no to this, because indirectly we are paying the price. Some women are paying the price as we speak. Some women are feeling trapped. They are caged in their marriage as we speak because of this heavy bride price. So if you have a contribution, jump on the link. Please don't be shy. Don't shy away from it. Olufunke, welcome. Thank you so much. Wanyoma, please go on. Go.
See,
Oh, yeah,
the thing about yeah, the thing about the bride price, especially those ones that are really very high, I think their daughters should be able to start rethinking, because if your daughter comes home as to talk to you as a father, there is no way you not listen. There is no way. I said it here initially. There is this one that the carpenters in the village can afford to do. That is what is required. That is the mandatory thing that you must pay before you take a wife. So the other list they will give you for the main traditional marriage. If you have the money to do it, fine. If you don't have the money to do it, they will still call them. Mommy Fechi was asking the list, was it because they were overseas? Yes, Mommy Fechi. Let me answer that question. Yes, so there is list for the Diego and there is list for
Yeah,
the
bro.
Diego.
Uh-huh. That's what
That
I'm
is the
thinking.
truth.
Mm-hmm.
That is the truth, because they will say, is this my mother? I remember my mother does. My mother said that I have done it once to wash my hand off anything. If my son-in-law say this is what he can afford, that's what we are going to do. Some bad ones will say, then she will tell them, for the fact that you people left me with your brother's children, that is what gave me mouth, and I'm raising them
Whoa.
all by myself. So I now have
Did,
mouth to talk.
Did you see what Olufunke wrote? She said she saw a list where they wrote a laptop and modem for the bride's brother. Laptop. Oh, Yahoo, Yahoo. Is the brother doing Yahoo, Yahoo? Is the brother into Yahoo, Yahoo?
Hey.
God have you.
Olufunke, please, which community is this one?
Eh?
Hi. God
Do
help
we
us.
have any Bise here? Please, if you have any Bise, jump on the link.
Yes,
We
so
need to talk. My brother married from Imo State,
that
but thank God from Akwa.
Mbise one is so bad. Honestly, it's affecting them. It's so bad.
When we heard my brother wants to marry an Imo lady, all of us were shouting, "Hey, Igememu, are you sure you are capable? Are you sure you can? Remove your hand." He now said she's from Akwa, that the family, they are very understanding. When we went there, we really believe that it's not all parts of Imo. And they really helped out because they didn't give us that exorbitant list, and they were very friendly and welcoming and did their part to us in-laws. We have somebody else here that has joined us. Welcome, Mrs. Brown Chronicles. Thank you so much. Are you from Mbise?
Yes, so good evening, everyone. I'm actually very, very busy, but I just feel this is an opportunity for mommy fetch me.
Good evening, my dear.
I'm from Mbise, Gong, not just Imo State.
Did they finish your husband?
Wow.
Did they cut his leg?
Hello, can the house hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so let me briefly talk about my own bride price. Like the list they gave my husband about this Mbise list of a thing is not true. It depends on families. I've seen a family from my own hometown, from my local government, a place called Umevu under Mbise. They gave.
Oh no!
I think it's her network.
That she's a graduate. They put bike, they put sewing machine, they put motorcycle. The guy paid everything, and trust me, till that woman died, she did not. The man did not allow, the husband did not allow the mother-in-law to come to his house. He said he has bought the lady. You grab.
What was I saying here before? That was it not the same thing I was mentioning here?
He did not allow them. Exactly. And then in my own case, the list they gave my husband, it was a book close to 3 million, above 2 million.
Wow.
My mother wanted to say, my mother said, I beg you, put that. And upon that, they still gave before they gave my husband the list, they brought it to my mom. In case if you need anything, add it before we present the list. My mother said, for what? That these people are just starting life. Because that was, I think, about 3 years after my youth service, and I served with my husband. My mother just told him that he did not train this girl. Throughout, since I gave birth to this girl, I did not see any of you ask, has she bought pencil? Where is she schooling? This one, that one. And now, everybody's bringing snuff, bringing gin, bringing cigarettes. My mother now said, one thing is missing. No, you could not add something. They said, what is it? She said, add shop. Because all these things people are putting here, people need a shop to sell it all. So she worked hard. I'm saying this. I don't know if I should say I'm sorry to say this, or I'm proud to say it, that my husband did not pay up to 1 million. His friends, they were doubting that it's a lie. In his office, when he told them that he's getting married to an Mbise woman, he said, you go fit carry Mbise girl, this, that. When he married and came back, we did our white wedding, court wedding, they said it's a lie. You understand? So that thing is families. Some of them are so ignorant. And just like someone mentioned here, most of our young ladies are getting old because of the high bride price. Most of our parents in Mbise, what they do is this. If you study law, your own go different. If you did not go to school, your own is different.
I mentioned someone like Oyoyo. I mentioned somebody like Oyoyo that has 3 degrees. If you are from Mbise, your own bride price can build a mansion.
Hey.
So it depends on families. Seriously, that's like is Mbise. Most of them are just they influence it. Some of them add motorcycle, sewing machine. a lot of things. So that's just it. But it's not everyone. Most parents are considerate.
Okay,
Especially all these born
let
again
me ask you,
families that they are
Mrs.
into God,
Brown.
they're not into all those traditions so
Mrs.
much.
Brown,
They
let
are
me
very
ask you. I have a
considerate.
question for you. The thing we are trying to
Okay, ma.
understand here, the items are still on the list, but it now depends if the family are contented, they will be able to strike it off. But that is the official list for bride price.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
You see, so that's the
Yes.
thing. If
But
you
no,
now
in the
happens to be
official list, you cannot see sewing machine, you cannot see motorcycle items. It's the parents of the bride that added it to.
okay.
No. You cannot see sewing machine in the official this thing bride price. No.
Okay.
Yes. And then the
Okay, so it is
wrappers, when they
added.
write like
It
5
is
wrappers.
added later into the list.
Yes. Yes, because my mom, now they brought it to my mom that does she want to add anything before they give my husband. My mother now say with all these things that you put that as if you want to go and open new shop, that you want me to still add something.
Wow.
So that's just it. It
Honestly,
depends on
and
families.
I
Some
have
families are
friends.
they are so
I
busy.
have this particular friend, Mrs. Brown. She's from Obise. I feel pity. Like
Yes,
each
ma'am.
time I look at, well, let me
Okay.
welcome some people here before I go on. Nemo Zawanyoma, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Delicious Annie, my gorgeous, welcome. Lady Posh, thank you. Gorgeous Pin, welcome. And we have who else said getting it right to Olivia, my gorgeous Pin. Welcome. I appreciate everyone. Please, as you're coming in, kindly smash the like, okay? And if you have a community you want to share, kindly share. We're discussing the consequences of tasking heavy bride price on groom. Some women are feeling trapped, and some are even trapped really in their marriages. They have been, denied every right of a wife, after marriage, because the men have paid through their noses. So that is what we are discussing. What is the way forward? Now, this lady from Mbise, she's my very good friend. Every day I look at her, I just feel nothing but pity. She has had how many broken engagements? She's in her 40s as we speak. Beautiful, no, mama. Mbise women can be very beautiful and fair. Mommy, what a very beautiful lady. On a big plum side, and who Julia, but she has had multiple broken engagements, and I'm sure this is contributing to it. The last one, the last guy she broke up with is abroad. But she told me the guy was coming to meet her people. Then the next thing, the guy has cancelled. Every time I look at her, I just put her in my prayers that God, she didn't make herself, she didn't bring herself into this world. She didn't decide the family she wants to be born into. But somehow she's paying for it. Because we had the discussion, and each time I listen to her, just like, why? Okay, and is there nothing you can do about it? Like, you cannot stop certain things. She says she can't. How many broken engagements? The last one, we were almost, and then the guy called it. This is what is happening to a lot of our young ladies in their late 30s, early 40s, still, not because they don't find love, not because they are not good, they don't have, they don't have that white material quality. They do. But once they hear where you came from, also, the man will run
Because
away
of
and forget
outrageous
love.
bride price.
The guy will forget love and disappear. So this thing you are saying about me, you see that, how can you request for a motorcycle, sewing machine, 5 Ecolag buses, jewelries, and all those things from a young man starting life with your daughter? We have Gift Onoha here. Gift Onoha, you from Imo State or Anambra? Welcome. Gift, are you here?
I'll go down at the moment. I'll be in the chat, okay? Because I've got something. Yeah.
Oh, mommy. Okay. Do you want to just
but
give us your conclusion before you go? Like, what's the way forward? What would be your advice before you go into the chat?
Obviously, my advice, as somebody who also have children getting into that age when they will get married, is for parents to be very sensible. Even if the villagers are saying this and putting all those nonsense on the list, that the parents, we are now in 2022, the parents should be able to say, no, this is not what, especially I'm talking about the parent to the daughter. So that they have to really look at the list and say, no, this is not acceptable by us. The villagers may not be happy people, hey, it's nothing to do with them. At the end of the day, when you are training your daughter, they're wearing them. Now they say that, oh, this is our tradition. There are things that are tradition, maybe cartons of wine, drink, and that. But when it comes to other things, like we're talking about machine, we're talking about, I talked about somebody say, cigarette is different. How about snuff? So amuro, so handshake, all those things, all those nonsense they're adding in the list, they can actually be looked at by the parents, especially when the girl speaks to the parents and say, look, let's look at this list again. So I will say that parents should please, don't say, oh, this is how we do it in the village here. But only one parent can even start changing things in that village and say, look at our children. They can give examples. Look at our children. They're all hanging around here, our daughters. They're not getting married because of this. So they can make it as even a village meeting or big family meeting and decide that enough of this. Our children need to get married. We have to start cutting some of these things off. We are no more in the 18th century. We are now modern, even though we are in the village, but some of these things need to be cut off. A family can start it and have a meeting and it can be agreed. Because some of those people, I'm sure they also have daughters and they won't like their daughters to be hanging around them in their late 30s and into 40s. It's not good. So that's what I think. It should be from families, from parents. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mumi. Thank you so much for this great contribution. We appreciate you. Thank God we have mothers like you who are going to be considerate with all this list when it's time for your sons to get married. Lucky those beautiful women that are coming into your life. Thank you so much, Mumi.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Welcome, Trending Gist with Octavia.
Thank you, Mommy.
Thank you, Glorious Reality. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, Delicious Dam is here, and the gift honor had dropped. Gift honor, please, can you kindly click on the link and come back, please? You dropped off. Okay, the link is there. Welcome, Delicious Army. Are you from Imo State or Anambra or Enugu Ebonyi State? Where are you from?
Good evening. It's my first time here. Oh, sorry, on your stage. I'm from Abia State, married to an Abia State man.
Okay.
Can I continue?
Yeah, go on. Welcome.
Okay. Shout out to Yoyo's Fresh, Miss Brown's Chronicle, and everyone in the comment section. Okay, whenever I hear about this bride price thing, I just start laughing. The thing makes me laugh a lot because I'm married and I have a lot of friends that are also married. So most times when I hear people say, the reason why I'm not married is because the bride price list is too much, I'll just be looking at them like, what is even in this list that will hold you down for years, that will make you not to get married? When my husband came for my, is Ikwaka, that one they will come and say they want to marry you. Ikwaka, they gave him the normal village list, and my parents also added their own list. So when they gave him the normal village list, to be sincere with you, I'm not even coming here to sugarcoat or, come and paint anything good or bad. Everything in that list was not up to 300,000. Everything in that list, both the groundnut oil, the matches, that's the original village list. Most people don't get original village list. One uncle that is envious of you will just come from somewhere and come and give you list and say it is village list, whereas he has gone to the back to add his own. This issue used to come from when you don't get the list from either the eldest man in the village or the right people. When you now start going up and down collecting lists from one uncle or one auntie, that's when they'll manipulate the list. Back to what I was saying, everything in that list was not up to 300,000. My parents added their own. Everything was, let's just say, 500. Then those small things they'll do for the Ikwaka, Imego, Macanopi, this one, that one, the other one. And the food they cooked, everything was, let's just say, 1.1 million. And my husband paid it happily because he knew that, okay, I've been, planning towards this day. What is 1.1 million that I cannot bring out and do, something not really big, but something presentable for a woman I will spend the rest of my life with? What is, even if I don't have it, I will go and borrow it. You get me? But the main list that came from the village, let's say 320 or 310,000. Okay, let it be that my husband did not give anything to my family or did not, do any extra thing. The main one is 310,000. So is it that money that is too much for a man to pay? That's my question.
It's not. It's not. It's
How will
not.
you carry somebody?
If only parents and families would just learn to stop being greedy, that list, every hardworking young man can actually afford the original list.
What are you
The
telling me?
parents will come and start adding their own, add motorcycle, add their laptop, add their sewing machine, add shop, add school fees, even add you sending their sons abroad or sending their sons.
That's the reason why some men don't marry from poor families. I have an uncle that said that thing, that he will not marry any girl from a poor family, because this attitude usually comes from girls from poor families. Even if you are struggling, must you show your in-laws that you are struggling? Must you do that? Every family is covering up themselves. Most in-laws will even tell you, just bring only the things for the umuna and uma that leave our own. You understand? We are still alive. If my son-in-law is rich tomorrow, obviously the money will reach me. I just feel that this particular thing is from the family. My friend that got married last year, December, the same thing, when her list came, I was seeing Bonvita, I was seeing Milo. I said, is it Umar that want to eat Bonvita and Milo?
I don't know. In fact, they will add beverages to the list. And I'm asking, even during burial now, they add beverages. And I saw one list for that Umar that brought. And I'm like, somebody just lost a beloved husband, and then you're requesting for Bonvita, Milo, sugar, and the rest of it. Do you need those things to cry? Like, do you need those things to give you energy to cry and console the person that has lost a loved one?
It was so funny that even when they came and they said, okay, you're supposed to pay 7 naira as the bride price. Is it bride price? Sorry, money for your dad. But since they no longer spend 7 naira again, it will now be 70,000. My husband paid it happily. That my friend I told you about that got married in December, if you see her list, my baby shoe, I said, who is wearing baby shoe? My stockfish head, half bag, until she now did her own private investigation and found out that it was her mother that kept that list there. The ones that the villagers were asking was not even up to 200,000. So most times this problem is from your own family or from your uncles. When you go and collect list from your wicked uncle that doesn't want you to marry, how will you write the list to favor you? You get me? So I feel this particular issue is from the family. When you go and collect wrong lists, because this thing almost happened to me. They gave us 4 different lists. But the list we used was the original one we got from the Igwe's palace, and it was down to 300,000. The other ones they were bringing, even 5 million naira cannot buy what is inside that list. They would have scammed us. I think people were not sharp, or I think people don't go to the village. They would have scammed us now. But we go to the village, we know what's up. We are in different organizations in the village. So you cannot come and scam me. If anything happens, you see me in Igwe Palace. So they were not able to hear this. Exactly. Igwe must hear this. Igwe must hear this. And even on the wedding day. And even on the wedding day, Umada brought gifts for me. Makula sobapu rice. So please hold your thoughts. Hold your thoughts. Igwe must hear this. Just hold your thoughts. Let me welcome. We have someone here. Gift Onoha is back. Gift Onoha, welcome back. Igwe must hear this particular one.
Host, see, no matter how we take this, we might be laughing about it, but it boils down to greed. It boils down to serious greed and poverty of the mind.
Imagine baby shoe. Baby one, you have not even started firing. You are already thinking about the child. How do you know the sex of the child? Okay, you buy both the male and the female baby shoe, isn't it? Waiting, no.
If you marry to a family with contentment, you will not have all this problem. If the bride's
It's so
family
embarrassing.
is a very
So
comfortable
God
man,
bless you, Yo-Yo Fresh. God
you
bless
understand, he
you.
won't have this problem. Is greed and poverty, especially poverty of the mind. Because one thing, somebody might be poor, but that person will not be poor in the mind. But if you marry from
thank
a
you.
man that their mind is just how to grab, 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 grab. Hey, opportunity has come. Oh, let's sell, get everything that we haven't achieved in our lifetime. That's where you have problem.
They
And that's where
see
we
his
still,
son-in-laws as cash cows.
yes,
See?
now. Yeah,
We
that's
have
what it
trending
is.
gist with Octavia here. Thank you so much,
Welcome,
Cora, for
Mel.
joining us. Mel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, host. Make I go hide somewhere, join this your life. As one of your co-hosts is talking, I was like, Chai, why is it not host or Yo-Yo that is saying this thing? Let me come so we can start part 2. Anyway, thank you very much, host and co-host, for having me. Hello, everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for jumping on the link, Queen. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I just
let's hear
quickly
from
wanted
you.
to jump on your I came in and it was hot. Everything I was hearing, the comment section and all of that, I was like, oh wow, this is really interesting. Yeah, and I see a lot of people are saying most times it's family members. Sometimes I don't think it's family. It depends on the community, because some community they hold on so much to this tradition thing and all of that. So whatever they list, when they present that their list to your family, there are so many things that your family might not be able to remove from the list or do anything about it. So by the time your family will now add the community list plus their own list, some family, although, might say, okay, because community list is now somehow, let's cut down on family list. And then you might not have uncles and all of that are like, no way, we're not cutting down. This is our child, even though they didn't send you even a cup of gari. But you know, they're like, this is a child we've raised and blah, blah, blah. But then by the time you couple all the list and everything, it becomes too much. And I seen the comments of some people are saying 200,000, 300,000 is not too much, 1.1 million. Can we just sit a little bit and think about this whole thing properly? You cannot tell me that 200,000. What are you doing with 200,000? When our olden days tradition, we were using cowries now that we use to decorate our hair now. And think
At
of
that
how
time,
difficult it was
cowrie worth
for
so
people
much
to get,
money.
think of,
Mel, at that time, to get one piece of cowrie is like getting a human being. So you worth so much when in terms of cash, you worth so much one piece of cowrie.
but at the same time, if you convert what they used to charge then to now, the conversion they're doing, it's not correct. You will agree with me that that thing is just too much, because getting a bicycle alone was a thing, you know. Anybody that owned things like bicycle were kind of very wealthy and respected people in the community. People that can
Yeah.
afford those our traditional shoes with respected people that can afford certain type of fabrics, you know. So if we're looking at where we were before and where we are now, why do we still go with all this ridiculous list where a young man that really is promising, he has vision, you know that, okay, if I give my child out to this man will be able to take care of my child, and in the future maybe this guy might be able to make it in life, and him and my daughter, they will be happy. Why are you giving him a list that at that time he cannot afford, and you're still adamant that either you pay everything or nothing? And maybe your daughter is so much in love with this man because she can see potential. She can see that this man truly loves her, and whatever the case may be. But yet we're adamant that we want to collect 200,000. Let's look at this thing, because there are people that don't even earn 200,000. How many people are earning 200,000 naira as a salary in Africa? How many people? How much do they pay teachers?
I disagree.
So how much do they pay teachers alone? How much do they pay all these people that work in hotels, like receptionists and all of that? Some people are doing jobs and they pay them 5K. And out of that 5K, he's going to eat, he's going to pay transport, maybe he will fall sick, he will go and buy headache, as we always treat ourselves, or whatever.
And the house rent is there, including transport and everything.
Exactly.
So
and
a
your
poor man
family
can no
too.
longer
Maybe if you
marry
have
today.
younger ones, If you have younger ones that might call you, say, brother, I want to buy biscuits as they go school. So there are so many things. Out of that, your 5K, you have to squeeze out. And now you want to settle down as a man because you feel it is time for you, even though you're not making so much. And then they're giving you list of 200,000, 300,000, 1.1 million naira. 1.1 million naira, kill them there. What is that? And most of all these other people, all these people that put this list together, they don't have 1.1 million naira. Some people, even when you look at their house, you can see all this, what do they call it, growing on the walls. They've not been able to change their roofs and all of that. They are looking for a potential man that will come and marry their wife. What is it now? Women are now it's not something you sell.
Wives
what about
for sale.
love? What about the feeling? So nobody should say 200,000 is not too much. My own is take what you can take. That bride price, bring it down, something close to the cowrie and those type of money we were using before.
You know, trending gist, there are some, it's like you said, it depends on the community, okay? Like some places, that bride price is very, very little. And when you pay it, let's say as little as 20,000 naira, and they return 18,000 back to you, and they hold just 2,000. That is for those who really want to get married. For those who really want to get married, it's so, you know. And another thing is, sometimes our young men are not even helping matters. Too much show off. You go to your in-laws place, you want to show off that you have money already. They start, you know, looking at you as a rich man, and whereas you don't have. Hold that thought, Queen. And we have True Mamle here, ma'am. Welcome, ma. Thank you so much. I don't want to keep you waiting for too long, ma. Welcome, True Mamle. I think you're from Ghana. Thank you so much. Let's get to hear from True Mamle. She's from Ghana. Let's see how it is also done in Ghana. We've heard from someone in Kenya, and what their bride price is 30 cows. I was shocked. 30 cow is what they request for bride price, though it's still negotiable between the in-laws. You know, it's something that can still be negotiated, but the demand is 30 cows. So let's hear from True Mamle. Ma, you there?
Yes,
True
I'm
Mamle?
here. I'm here.
Okay, ma.
I'm here. Please
Yeah.
bear with
Please,
me. My
ladies,
throat.
just let's be patient, okay?
My throat. So bear with me. Greetings, everyone.
It's okay, ma.
And
Greetings, ma.
your co-hosts, they are all doing well. It just I came on because of your friend that you said she has not married yet, and
Yeah.
because of what is going on. And I wanted to say you should tell her to pray, because I'm not a traditional person. All those marriage right and the rest, I don't know much about it. But let me start with your friend. Please tell her to go on her knees and pray, because it might not be just the marriage right, it might be spiritual. I'm saying this from my own experience. In my house, my dad's side, the women, there's a problem for us to marry. No, I will not add mine because I've delivered myself. I did realize after secondary school that there's a problem in the house. The women will go, they are all beautiful, beautiful women, but then they will go within a short time, they are back. And not that they don't respect, not that they, there's nothing wrong with them. I'm saying they because I don't count myself up. I've realized, and I started praying when I was in my 30s. I said, no, I don't want to be like them. My sister included by then. I don't want to be. My sister suffered a lot with her husband. Her husband was a policeman. At the end, the man went for another woman. I said, what is going on? So for me, I said I will not marry. I didn't want to marry by then. So my son, my first son, I was not married. My first son, when we were in just relationship, I pray, I said, God, please, I just want children, but I don't want to marry because I don't want to come back with disgrace. What is going on? But the men, they are fine. So please tell your friend to start praying hard. It's something that if she prays, she can break it. It's, I don't know the word to use. it's not coming in my mind to use, but they might be like, God forbid, a case, you know. She should pray hard and ask God. And as we are talking about, we should all help pray for her. So if it is a case, it will be break for her to be free, because it's sad.
Mm.
You know, it's
It's
sad.
sad.
She's supposed to have someone to spend her life with. And then when we come to the bride price, what you said is what I did. What you said is what I did. I asked my dad, I said, please, I'm in somebody's land, and I had a lot of problems by then, a lot of problems. And I said, no, please, can you do something about it? I don't even want you to tell the rest of the family, because they don't look after me. They don't feed me. They don't clothe me. This man is the one who is clothing me, who is feeding me. So now you want him to pay, and even that money is not going into your pocket, it's going to some people's pocket. So just leave us. We had our wedding, everything here, and then we went to Ghana. And I asked him, I said, where's the list? What to do, this and that. He didn't say anything. He just said, you marry, you marry. That's it. But then after the family start talking, we haven't received any drink, schnapps, and the rest. I decided I should get a list. But unfortunately, and fortunately for me, my dad passed away 2 months after we decided to go back and perform all these things. And then when he passed, we have to buy the coffee and the rest. Then if I'm not married, I'm not allowed to contribute or buy. So I thought I'm the elder and I can't do that. As soon as they called the meeting, I told them, I said, well, my husband has performed everything. They said, really? I said, yes. When we came to Ghana with my husband and my mother-in-law, my dad has performed everything. Well, you should go to my dad. He's dead. Go and ask him whether I've performed or not. That was how they ended it. So they said, okay, your husband can provide the coffin, because that's the tradition. So by then, even the coffin was there, and I was thinking, would they ask us to take it back or not? But then, because I've decided I'm not going to give penny to any of them. They didn't look after me. My dad, who would take it, is gone. So I'm not going to. We as women, we should protect our men. It's good, it's
Mm.
respect for them to do a performing those right to our parents. But when it's becoming too much, you know
Mm.
that your dad will not marry you. Your mom will not marry you. So
Mm.
use your common sense, go and beg. If they reduce it, good. If they don't reduce it, you should come into agreement with your man and do something. But it also depends on the man. Maybe you do that after the man will not respect you again and say, oh,
Mm.
so so it depends on where you are
It all
going.
depends.
But we should always, try not to put too much, because this man is going to look after you for the rest of your life.
Mm.
He's all taking burden from the family. Like Indians, I have Indian friends. What they do is they pay everything for the man.
Yeah.
The woman side pays for the man to
Yeah.
take their child away. But then Africa is opposite. And I asked my friend why, and she said because the man is going to take care of her already, so there's no need for them to do that. So that's my own experience. So we
Um.
keep your friend in prayer. So by the grace of God, she will break through and get someone to spend her life with, because
Amen.
life is too short. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my
Amen.
own. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Ma. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate this great contribution. I have her in my prayers. Thank you so much. Welcome, Cheke TV. Thank you, Wanyoma. Esther's Chronicles. Thank you so much for coming. Please, guys, as you're coming in, kindly hit the like, okay? The like is not going up. Kindly smash it. I appreciate you all. We are discussing heavy bride price, how it's affecting women. Do you know that, Oyoyo, trending gist? Do you know that there are some women now, what they do because of this high bride price from their community, they and the guy intending groom now decide that, okay, they should get pregnant. So that once she gets pregnant, they don't have a choice because one, she will not give birth in her father's house. So the family that have shame, they will not say, no, before the pregnancy will show, bring whatever you want. This is the strategy a lot of young men are now using. I don't know if any of you have heard about this. Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yes, we are here.
Okay. Have you any of you heard about guys, dashing them pregnancy so that the bride price can be, I mean, if the father-in-law is proving stubborn and they are refusing to slash the lease, they now agree that okay, the lady will get pregnant, and then once she gets pregnant, because they don't want her to give birth in her father's house, they will now slash the lease, and then boom, they kill two birds with one stone.
Host, I don't think that might be the best thing, because in some traditions, you understand, even the moment they realize that a girl is pregnant, they will tell you to wait until she puts to bed before you come
In
and pay
some
bride
in some
price.
in some tradition, yes.
So that's not a good idea or rather a good way of going about it. It still boils down to a woman. If you know your community are not going to bend, or your parents are not willing to help you, you have to chip in your own part. If you're working, chip in something so that the burden will not be solely on the man. If he sees that you're also contributing something, he will know, yeah, this girl is all out for this whole thing. And it's kind of something you guys will do together in oneness. That's the way I say it.
I
Mm,
agree with
yeah.
you, Yo-Yo. I feel like as a woman, the only thing you shouldn't do is help him with that bride price. That particular
Mm.
bride price should come from his pocket. It should be his money
The
and his money
original
alone.
one, right? The
Yes,
original
yes,
one.
yes. That
Yes,
one they call the
yes,
dowry. That yes, that should come from his hand. If that's the only thing he will give, so be it. All those drink, biscuit, and those lousy things that they ask for, you can bring the money out from your own pocket and pay for those other things.
Mm,
But let him pay for that one that traditionally they will open that traditional wine and make their incantations, and so let him pay for that particular money. And I think that particular money
mm.
goes to the bride's parents. Like your
yes.
father takes that money, so that particular money he should pay. But I agree with Oyoyo that as a woman, if you're really in love with this person and you can see that this person has potential, it's just that the money is not coming at that time that you're planning. Instead of waiting, Mama, get a job and also
Yeah,
do
like the
something.
traditional marriage, a woman can, contribute, can support in buying every, but that main bride price, I agree with you too. That main bride price, the man should do it because anyway, it is a man's duty to drop that on your head. But like other things that accompany the bride price, a woman can support to lessen the burden. A woman can support. Juba, welcome. Okay, Nemuzo, you said your friend said they demand for more depending on where you are from. Yeah, absolutely. And then in some cases, you cannot. Like you don't pay bride price on a pregnant woman. But there are other places too where it is done. And guys from that side, this is the strategy. Like I've had a lot of guys say this is the strategy. If the parents are proving stubborn, koya female. I've heard them say this over and over, and I just laugh like, okay, akuziaga female. What if the guy now decides that he's no longer interested in the marriage? Ibura female source, okay, gawaziano no. Honestly, this thing is just not funny. Believe me. Cheke, thank you so much. Cheke say, oh, sometimes they pay in parts, like do some now, later in the future, finish the rest. Okay, Cheke, where are you from exactly? How is it done where you're from? This bride price thing is looking like a scam. Oh, why, Yoma, honestly. The way they are doing it now, it can only be scam, because the real ones, the real bride price is very little. It is not much. But greed is not helping us. Greed, parents are greedy. A lot of parents are greedy. Communities are greedy. Pablo Happiness, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Juba, I appreciate you. Please, guys, in case you've not given the like, smash the like, okay? Now, these things are not that expensive, if not for greed. We have looked at the bride price. It is something that every young, hardworking man can afford. Okay, let me tell you, my dad, when my dad told us the story, it was even my mom that told us the story before my dad, shared the story. He said when he was about getting married to my mom, he didn't have the money. Like, he's not a wealthy guy, like he's not that rich, but even the bride price that was given to him, he couldn't afford it. What he did was he bargained with the parents of my mother, and then started working in their farm. Volunteer, did it the way it was done in the Bible, the way, who did it? I think it was this guy did it for the Leah and Rachel, Jacob, right? It was Jacob that did it. Yeah. So he had to work in my mother's parents' farm for 3 years. 3 good years he farmed for them, like he was going there to assist them to be able to pay off my mother's bride price. That was how he did it, and he brought her home. He paid part, and the remaining one, he now had to pay it with his sweat. He had to pay it with his sweat, working for 3 years until, it was completed. When they were telling us this, I was like, why did you not have to let it? He said that was how it was done. If you can't pay, if you don't have the money, you now have to do the job, like work for them in their farm, to show that you are capable, that you're strong enough to fend for her, that you can work hard and feed her. So he had to prove his strength as a husband to her by, working in their farm for 3 years until, they were satisfied and said, okay, come and carry your wife and go. It's funny anytime I remember this story. And then I remember it was Jacob that did the same thing when with the father-in-law, when he couldn't pay the bride price, and he had to now work for 7 years, and they now did him Ojuju Calabar. They now did him Boju Boju, or they scammed him and gave him Leah instead of the Rachel he wanted. And eventually now had to work for another 7 years before the main woman was given to him. So it is sad that people are doing this, and it's affecting a lot of young ladies. Look at young ladies from some parts of the country. They can't get married. Some of them just end up, they just get pregnant, so that because Ogenaga time is passing. Yes. Papa's own is even better. Jacob won now for 14 years. They scammed Jacob. They really scammed Jacob. Today, this is not the first time scamming. It started since the time of Jacob. So you see a lot of young ladies that are matured enough. They now decide that, okay, since a women biological clock is ticking and ticking fast, it's better to just get pregnant and start having babies. When these village people are ready, we'll go and give them whatever we have. And this is trending now. And I don't blame them. I do not blame young ladies who have decided to have children, because the clock is ticking. It is ticking. Now, how would parents feel?
But host, do you think that's the best way to go about it? For me, I would say I would blame them, because if you notice one thing, they don't at least talk to their family members. Try that nonsense with me. I would just go and sit with those, what do they call them? Those family chiefs or whatever. I will address them myself.
What if you do and still they are not ready to budge? What are you going to do? You don't know. See, it's painful.
But that's when you speak to your own father. It's not when he's your father. At that point, you have to speak to your father. It's between the battle will now be between you and your father.
Wicked in-laws. Well, I mean, wicked uncles. What about those that have lost their father, and the in-laws feel this is the time to deal with this family? What about those that have lost their fathers?
It's true. It's more difficult when your parents are no longer alive. But if they are still alive, I feel like battle it out with your parents, and then let your father go and battle it out with his brothers and those old men that never contributed anything in your life, but now they want to sit and eat chicken and drink aromatic shenap.
Those old men are the problem. The orphans, there are young ladies who have lost their both parents. They are struggling, and then when it's time to marry, these in-laws who don't know how they manage to feed and survive, we start frustrating their life. So what they just do is to start living with the man. They start living with have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children. Whenever the village people are ready, they'll go and give them aromatic schnapp and save themselves. We have Cheke here. One Yoma. Welcome, Cheke. Cheke, you're laughing. This is the truth. I pity those young ladies, especially that have lost their parents. And when it's time to marry, see those people will open their mouth. Whoa, they now want to drain the young man. Cheke.
Nice topic. Hi, hosts.
Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Greetings from here.
Hello,
my sister Mel and true mom and beautiful Oyoyo and everybody in the chat. Greetings to you all. Yes,
greetings, thank you.
Welcome.
You look like one in BC. Are you from BC?
I'm not from BC. I'm from River State.
They are very beautiful and yellow purple. Are you from BC?
Yes, I am from Eche. Eche is close to them, so we are just at the center. That's why you see me speak Igbo almost all the time.
Yeah, okay.
Our language is similar, so but different from, so we
in terms of bride price, is it the same or different?
No, they are different. They could have been the same, but there are adjustments. This thing about this topic and everything, like I said in the comment section, and you wanted me to explain, that is why I came up. Some people have a way they do it, like you said, getting pregnant. Everybody condemned it in the chat too. That our sister Esther, she said, is not the best. So getting pregnant to boycott the huge bride price and huge marriage ceremonies that most villages do in Nigeria is not the best. But actually, it is alarming how people will, because of girl child, and they will make out the whole project because of that girl child, and making her to suffer, making her to remain at home, because some people have missed marriage because of bride price issue, especially when they made it like a law. You have to do this, after this you go this. Okay, let me tell you what I'm talking about. One of my friends from Eleme, okay, Eleme in River State, she's supposed to get married. The man that was supposed to marry her had a little money to do most of the things, and then they organized their marriage celebration and party. But when this man was in the process, they say you will kill how many goats, you will buy wrapper, buy buses. Like, as I'm talking to you, I speak with her every day. The man coming for her now, I told her that, babe, if you get to 40 years, it will, in fact, now it's just remaining small now for you, but it's not supposed to be this way, because there are people who had come. When you present your tradition to them, they are running away. Everybody is not rich, and everybody is not rich even before they get married. Some people will get rich later, they start up their families. We are not saying that now someone will say, if for you to be a man, you have to provide it. It's not everybody that's really a man until they get their families. So this particular traditional thing and marriage thing, when I saw the topic, I said, even though I'm not feeling fine, even my back, I didn't want to. I didn't do anything. Nothing. So yeah. I didn't want to hustle too much today on YT, but when I saw, I said, hey, my sister, don't come again with this one. This one is so attractive. Let me come here. And then I said my topic. You wanted me to explain. So Now I told her that it's better you guys should go to court. In fact, she went to Rumokoro court last week to make inquiries about this. I said, go to court and have your court marriage. Know that you're married. These people with these things, they might keep you. Then later, you and your husband will go back and be doing them small. That is my own candid advice. So you start at least see whether God will bless you immediately with children. See what people are suffering, including me, because of late, bearing. Sometimes it's not even you don't even know the reason. Yeah, but if you had married on time, okay, if she
you start early.
Yes. That is what I told her, my own candid advice to her. But their tradition have made her own, or is person I've seen. So many people are facing this thing. And so many will say, oh, because my mother is a Christian mother, we have to finish it before I go to the man house. Before you know, that man will leave. You are hoping for another one. We are hoping for another one.
This is the problem my very good friend is facing today. How many cancelled? And she is in her 40s as we speak. She has not been the first one. You know, it's a struggle. You see, some people will not understand this struggle because if you don't have family that have a voice in your community, some people will suppress that voice, will suppress that family. And then if your father, if they have greedy parents who want motorcycle and machine and laptop for Yahoo and all those things, how do you go about it? Like you are saying, go to court. But what about those whose parents will say you are not going to the man's house, whether you do court or not? They must come and pay the bride price.
They cannot hold, the parents cannot hold an adult, even though in Nigeria. If you are a woman, you want your parents to cage, you cannot go there. Why wouldn't you go to your husband's house? Do you know what people are suffering in terms of fertility because of late marriage, or even though you marry early, you need to go there and start sorting yourself out. Start going to the doctor. You need that time to do that.
It's possible now. It's possible for you, for your parents to say that. It's possible. If you live under their roof, you have to respect them. What do you do if you live with your parents?
You move out from their roof. I think it's time women need to stand up and
move out. That's what we are talking about. My mother cannot. I was living with her because my father died very early. I was living with her when I got married. She cannot hold me. You cannot hold me. If at all I have seen all the implications of whatever the tradition will do to me personally, because you will bear the whatever. You will bear it, not even the tradition. Those things are things they set up. They wrote it. They want to enjoy. Even people that never said, like what happened to my own. People that have never greeted my mother one day, all of them got shared. People that even saw us when we were picking, what is it called? Aki inside the bush. I'm a bush girl every day because we need to eat. I go to, we pick it and then we start, breaking and eating and drinking gari, even with the chef, everything. Those are my testimony. They never cared. Say, this woman with 7 children and nobody is helping you. Let me give you people 100 naira. Let me help you to buy food for your children. They never did to my mother. One day, she has one rapper and she has to struggle with us. But when it comes to, hey, bride price, all of them came out. They all came out, they want to eat it. And they did. They did. But in a situation whereby I don't have it to offer, I would have left them. I would have left them with whatever they want to eat because they didn't care about. These things are something that if you look at it critically, you just want to focus on yourself. Know what is right for you. Because if you are an adult, at least from 1920, and you want to get married, someone is holding you down. Please don't let that person hold you down. Except you are not sure of the man you want to marry. Don't let anybody stop you, because from that 20, 21, 22, 23 is the best time. The best time for you to start up your family and start growing from there. Okay? My comments in the comment section before I will, give other people time to talk is they can pay part by part. There's something they used to do in my place. I have observed it when I was younger, that a man came and they say it's a credit marriage. Yes, we'll call it a credit marriage, maybe a kind of generalized name. Whereby the man we married
The lady
woman.
on credit.
Yes, like come to the parents and said, I want to marry her. And they brought some drinks, with his people, with his mother, but have not done the actual thing. When we talk about the bride price, like my sister Otivia said, it's supposed to be like 100 naira. It's supposed to be like higher. Some people 50 kobo that time. Some people 250 naira as it stands now. I think Orobo people, someone wants to talk.
No. Somebody wants to come up later. I say, yeah, she can come up later.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Orobo people,
Welcome,
up to
Delicious.
now.
Let me get down so she can come.
No,
I think it takes up to 6 persons, so the person can come up.
You can come up. Who dropped now?
It's mommy. True Mamle.
It's True Mamle.
Okay.
She thought we are filled up. Yeah. So the Oromo people, their bride price is small, and then whatever they want to present are small. But if you look at it now, if you review it now, they are increasing it. I think because when they look at what other people are doing, they want to emulate. Yes. So in my place now, when you say you want to marry, you come with your people. They allow you to marry the girl. You have already married her, but you have not paid. Not that you have not paid the bride price. It's just that you have not paid because of the things that are attached. They have the youth things you have to pay. They have the knocking things you have to pay. Those knocking things are with small things, drinks. But if you calculate all of them for the knocking something, you will pay like up to like 150,000 naira now. Yes, because I think recently I went through that. You have the youth things, you have modern things, you have the elderly people things. So those things you are doing in that list are the things that are multiplying, that makes it to be so big. And now this couple wants to also celebrate it by inviting friends and family during the occasion. So when they finish calculating this, and they see that the 1 million naira they have cannot go for them now. It cannot go anywhere. So now, what are you going to do in that situation? Do you want to leave the man that you feel, or the woman that you love? You feel that two of you will start up this family, and in future the family will be successful. We grow. You want to leave them because of these things? Go to the parents. Go to the parents and let them cover up. They used to do it in my place, but I don't know.
I wish this thing can be done all over, so that young men and young women who are struggling, because Akani Naraha, all fingers are not equal. People who are struggling, two heads are better than one. When a woman joins heads together with her husband, they can do great exploit. They can do things, put incomes together. So by the time they now get married, they can now come and start paying up all those debts gradually. Because a lot of young men are struggling. The economy is not smiling. If only this thing can be applicable all round in all the communities, believe me, a lot will get married within 1 year. A lot.
Yes.
They won't get married.
Host. In my own opinion.
Yeah.
I really don't subscribe for the credit marriage if I will look at it that way. But rather, I don't want this.
You that are married and
credit. Some of your mates too. Like in my place, they will call the woman. After all, they have not paid sex.
That is it.
Yes, you are right.
So it's better. I will tell them the small one. Small one.
Oh God, help us.
That small one. Let's do the small one so that I carry my bag and go. When we are rich, we can come and do the big ceremony. But I beg, even if it's 100 naira they want to collect for that small bride price, pay only the bride price and the things that come.
But that's what she's saying actually. That they'll pay some small one. Then for those bigger ones, and I acquire small. They
Small,
pay it
small.
small.
In Igbo land, then when a bigger one, you have to settle bride price once and for all. So they should not come and tell, there is bride price for the family of the bride. They will do that
But
bride
Oyoyo,
price.
do you blame them when some people are charging 200,000 for only bride price?
They are not serious. They are
We have two people who just
poverty
joined us here,
mentality.
Delicious Army and Esther just joined us now in the chat. Are you from Owerri? Are
You're
you from
welcome. You're welcome.
Mbite? Welcome. Wife on credit. You that I married on credit. Chai. Now why?
Actually, someone came in, so I went to quickly attend to the person. Good evening to everyone in the chat and also the co-host. I wanted to reply what sister, was it Octavia? I can't really remember her name.
Octavia.
I said Cora.
Cora, what she said. Then she said that some people are struggling, that 200,000 is too much, this and that, this. I understand where she's coming from. But I also feel that before a man will come and say, I want to marry somebody's daughter, you cannot tell me that you have not been keeping some money somewhere. Oh, the 100,000. This is somebody's child you're coming to marry. To me, that's what I feel. And this bride price thing, your parents know the capacity of the man you're coming to marry. That's why they always tell women, stop painting a picture that does not exist to your parents. Namdi has 3 houses in Enugu. He has 4 houses in Anambra. He has 2 containers for the high school. And you want your parents to give him bride price of 5,000. No, banana. It doesn't work that way. You be sincere with yourself. Mommy, this man is struggling. He's struggling. We just want to, do this thing and enter house. You can't tell me poor people are not married. It's not true now. It's not true. How are they doing it? The parents don't have to.
So are you saying because he has container in Onitsha and container in Anambra, that means his bride price should go up to 2 million?
You're not getting the point. You're not getting the point. What I'm saying is that if the lady knows that her husband is struggling, and when I mean struggling, like things are very somehow, she'll make it clear to her parents. And mommy, see how my in-law to your in-law to be or my husband to be is struggling. Let us look for a way that we can, put this thing together. Trust me, these parents know how to go about these things.
Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them. Some parents are very
much.
Exactly. They don't know.
What do you do with such parents?
It is the community that set up that those lists. Like they have marriage committees in some villages now. If you don't know, they want to do things uniform so that let it not be that what they paid in our army, the list they gave army is different. They have these people, they will come there and sit down and analyze it. So when it is time for you to pay, the women will sit down one side, the men will sit down one side. Currently, that is what is happening. So your parents going back, what they will tell to the community people is that, oh, you're getting our own money. Why exactly have not given?
Exactly.
What you're talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
Actual right is a uniform because yes, it's uniform. Yes, it's not about
this was what I was saying when I climbed the stage at first. That make sure you are getting your list from the right source. And I'm saying it here again. That there is no village list, original list. That is more than 400,000. The original one, no, there is no village list like that. Your uncles and your aunties have gone to add their own. That is why that list came up that way. And you cannot tell me that you're coming to marry me. You cannot get that 300,000 to pay my annual now. You're not ready.
Of course, there's a village list that is more than that amount.
400,000.
Where is Esther? Esther just dropped. Esther, please jump back on the list.
Some are more than that. Some are more than 400,000.
Original village list.
I'm telling you, my sister.
Different communities have their different lists too. There are some lists that are very, very high.
With different things. They have
Esther,
different
if you
things.
can see the list, jump back on it. Thank you, everyone. Please, I really appreciate everyone jumping in. Okay, thank you so much for your patience and your time and your contribution here. I mean, it's been really amazing. We just need to discuss this so that our voices can be heard, and then we try to figure out how do we go around this, because a lot of young ladies are not finding this funny anymore. Like I said, some have decided, that okay, if they say I will not marry, I will get pregnant whenever they are ready. They should come and collect the aromatic schnapp that my husband can afford. Welcome, Esther's Chronicles. Okay, she's back.
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Hello, gorgeous queen. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome, sis.
Good evening, everyone. Awesome
Good
conversation.
evening.
Awesome conversation. What me, I just
Thank
want to
you very much.
I'll just go straight to the point. Greetings to everyone in the chat. Is that the idea of getting pregnant to convince family? I don't encourage it. It's my personal opinion. You know why? Because at the
Yeah,
end of the day, family is family. When the ships are down, all those your uncle that you think that family is family. I mean, I don't encourage anybody getting pregnant want to convince the parents. And then number two, it's important to have conversation with your family, because the
yeah,
truth, everybody is saying, the main original list is not always much. It's just the greedy uncles. And when you check out those greedy uncles, when is the time of their own daughter, they know how to do it. Mostly it's the children of the maybe orphans that are victims of all these things. Orphans, or people that are very, very poor. Because a man that is rich, you
yeah.
cannot even sit down and be negotiating his terms and conditions. Do you
Thank
understand?
you.
Can't. And I'll conclude my own. Just hold on to God. Hold on to God. The heart of a king is in the hands of the heart of a man is in the heart of a king is in the hands of God. There's nothing that God cannot do. Like what God cannot do does not exist. You can pray, but getting pregnant to prove a point is very risky.
No, sometimes Esther's Chronicles, but it's not just to prove a point. Imagine a young lady that is already in her 40s. And then they are frustrating and chasing away all the suitors. I said, this, my friend, at least nothing less than 3 have been chased away. You get, so imagine, and she's in her 40s already. You know the women biological clock. You don't need any, we don't need anybody to tell us this. Okay. Now, a lot of young ladies have resorted to this instead of getting in there and start struggling. Okay. And my parents are not budging, or the communities, they are not budging. And then any man that hears where I come from will just pick race. No. I can't afford this. They start running. What do you do? I'm not saying women should go get pregnant, but I'm just saying that it has pushed a lot of women into getting pregnant outside marriage. It has. Unfortunately, this is just the reality.
It just boils down to the wickedness in the African community. It's the wickedness.
Yeah.
Because if you notice that a woman is getting old and it's still the same story that people are running away, then you should do something about it. And I'm sorry to say, I think this thing is more common in the eastern part of Nigeria. And that's why you even see the eastern women, they are even marrying a lot of outsiders now.
Yes. Thank you. A lot have decided to marry other tribes. Because of the understanding.
They need to look at that thing because it's bad. And finally, that's what not the least. I don't think I know that the bride price or the list is getting too big, but somebody said something that you and the man can now start paying the bride price. No, how can you be helping him to pay bride price? I beg. It is responsibility. If he doesn't have money for bride price yet, I don't think he has a business with marriage. He should go and hustle.
It is not the main list. It is that cumbersome one. That cumbersome one that is added to the list, Esther's Chronicles. It's not the main list. That extra baggage, extra load that is added to the bride price. That's what the person is talking about.
Yeah, why
to support the man.
Which I will support our children's education.
But if you don't, from what you're saying, if you don't get married, how are you going to get pregnant to start supporting the children's
Okay,
education?
answer
Because
me.
you
Oh,
said
Esther
don't
Chronicle,
do it
answer.
Wait,
pregnant.
the truth is the burden. The burden we are having is that most women, most of us do try to help ourselves. That's it. Because I don't want to bring Christianity too much into this and it will be as if you're not relatable. But most times it's because we try to help ourselves. That's why we get into so many problems. I don't know if anybody is getting it. I might be the only one standing on this table on this one. I know. But if you're rooted, God will settle you. God will settle you. Don't try to help yourself. Don't try to live your life the
This
way
I
what.
understand you, but I
Plenty
disagree because
sisters are in
most
the
of this
church,
thing
oh.
is
Esther
tradition.
Chronicle.
So you cannot
There
even
are a lot
bring
of born
in
again Christians
Christianity
in church that
into
are
the
facing issues.
tradition.
No, those born again Christian in church, it's not this thing that is disturbing most women from marrying. Some people is
How do
character.
you know?
Some people is character. I'm telling you, most women is character. It's character. It's not even all. It's not this one. For so many women that will tell you that. So you see a woman, she's already close to 40. She's not married. When you see the way she insults people, people will go even run safe. Some people is character
I
is.
think character is
Esther
secondary.
Chronicle,
I completely disagree with you on this one. And I have examples because I love to come with receipts. I have relatives and I have
Pure
sister-in-laws.
receipt.
One of my sister-in-law, she has been a born again since 1974. And when it's time for men to marry in their church, they will go and bring people from outside. This lady is still single and she's in her late 50s.
Oh.
I have three of them. All they know is God and God and God alone.
And that's fine.
Their dedication is God. Everything they will tell you, I look unto God. Even when they are dying of sickness, they are still confessing that faith to know how, for you to understand how strong they've held to the word of God. That the contrary they could not do. These women I'm talking about never had a boyfriend. So if they go to grave anytime, they are going with their virginity. So
Hey.
it's not all
Why
I
are you
holding
saying
on to
hey?
God.
It's not,
Some
it's not
people,
the end of the world. Oh, yeah, spice
I
it up.
know, I agree. I
Ah.
believe solely on God.
Ah.
But what I'm saying is that it's not because they were not holding on to God or whatever. That's why most of these things are happening. No, that's why I disagree with you. I've
No,
seen people
but do you
that
know
held on to God. And the one that made me so mad is that the men in their congregation will go to another place and marry wife. When the discussion came up in their churches, do you know the defense the men came up with? We are trying to convert them to church. What happened to the sisters in your own church?
Was that before they got to their 40s or 50s? Because
They've
when
been
they
in
look
church.
at the age also, they will
No,
leave.
before they got to 50, to 30, before they got to 25, before they got to some, even before they got to 20.
but
You understand? Men, I believe men, we are marrying from their churches, right? One of them did that. She, at some point in her life, she said, you know what? That she's going to change church. But the time she was changing church, she was already 55. So she now
It's
moved
too
to,
late.
she moved
Too late.
to Redeem. She moved to Redeem. She was doing Deeper Life for that number of years, from 1974.
Oh God.
Okay, if you are coming up as a young girl, 15, you gave your 12, you gave your life to Christ, all you've known all your life is God and church. So it's not because other women we are not looking up to God, that's why those things are happening, or why it's difficult. No, things happen, life happen, let me put it that way. Life happen.
And
And then
Oyoyo, let
again,
me also add that some churches, the doctrine and the rules and regulation makes it even more difficult for people to marry
Too
from such
rigid.
churches. Like,
Too
I don't even
rigid.
understand. Like, I just believe that some churches, they don't even hear anything from God, frankly speaking. And they have all this ridiculous, don't visit this, don't go here, don't do that. And who wants to abide by those type of laws?
they still have brothers in their churches now that still marry. It's the only women that they have in those churches. They have brothers.
But
They have
okay.
brothers.
Oh, yo,
See,
wait, let me come in. Another one I don't agree is getting pregnant before because the bride prices. That's the wrongest mistake anybody can do. And secondly, marriage on credit. That's the worst thing that can happen. If you really want to get married,
but you know this thing I'm saying now. That
host,
marriage,
let me
you will
finish
see
now,
them
host.
during traditional marriages happening.
Host, wait, let me land. The example we are talking about, women getting to 40s, or those that already, especially your friend you made reference to, that your friend in her 40s, right? She must have attained a height financially, right? She must have attained a height. Okay, if her bride price happens to be 100,000, her husband should be able to pay that. If a man is not able to pay that bride price, he's not responsible enough to have a wife.
This is the thing I've been saying.
It is not the when the men hear that she's from Umbise and their bride price is high, they run.
Wait, it happened to my friend. Remember, I gave you that example. And guess what? That my friend at the time, when she was getting married, she was, I think, on her 3rd level banking. That's where she was. The man she married was still struggling in the Idumota market at the time. So you can't say the man was a rich man. He was struggling. So I asked her, I called her on the phone after I had moved to the US. I said, oh, congratulations about your marriage. How did you guys settle it? She said it was becoming too much for the husband. So she had to chip in. So somebody that is already close to 40 or about to be 40, you would have been stabilized as a woman financially if you're working. Then what you need to tell to your husband, okay, honey, wait, sweetheart, you can't be calling me sweetheart, buy me flowers and all of that. When it now comes to the real thing, because I'm from Mbi, say you want to run, I'm here to help. That's why I'm a helpmate. Just go and pay the bride price, because I want a man to pay that bride price on my head. I want that oil. I don't want insult from my in-laws or from anybody. You understand? Pay the bride price. The least for the omona, I will contribute money. The least for the sewing machine,
I need
will
to tell her
contribute
this.
money.
I need to suggest this to her.
You can't just go and wash your hand off and wait until the man bring the 10 million your community people are asking before you marry. No. Let him do the needful that is required of any man willing to have a home or a family. Then the rest baggages that come with it, especially from those wicked uncle, you can contribute. You don't, after all, you buy him gift. Don't you buy him gift? His birthday, you can spend money. Valentine, you're buying him
you
gift.
can help him.
When it now comes to contributing to how you're going to start a home, you start cracking sense. No, it doesn't make sense.
Mommy, God bless you. God bless you for this suggestion.
I mean, like that one.
No, it's not, man. You cannot tell me it's because of bride price. You're over 40, you never married.
You're right.
Something is wrong. You are not saying.
Yeah. I told my friend that if it is for you to go and buy your gun, you will use for this thing. Go and buy it yourself.
There's one thing my mom told me. My mom asked me that your wedding dress, how much is it? I told her almost 300,000. She said, how much is your village people asking you to bring?
Okay.
I said 310. He said, what is the difference? Can't you are deceiving yourself? Why would I not sat down? See, this one he said is not even something that one is supposed to be running up and down for. I've seen people that spend 6 million on white wedding. But to pay 200,000 for bride price, don't be shouting. It's too much. It's too much. But you can pay 1 million naira for food. Are you not deceiving yourself?
You have dropped a very serious point here.
You have
really dropped something serious here. Thank you.
Let's tell ourselves the truth now. You cannot look for 200,000 to pay your wife's bride price. Oh, guy, don't marry. Go and sit down at home.
You can even cut out the white wedding yet. You can cut it out, go and do the traditional. Then later you can do the white wedding, even if it's church blessing.
Go and get
people don't want to even do ordinary church blessing. They want to that big wedding. They will hire big.
You can pick a 1 million.
Can wed can wed more than 10 people on Sunday. Just wear your gown, go there with your husband.
Thank you.
Even
Thank you.
we
Same
are
thing,
offering
single
solution
wedding.
here now.
Yeah, that
This is way
Aba Road
forward now.
area. You can just go
This
with your
is way
husband there.
forward.
Do it there. The father will bless
Mm.
you and you will go back to your home. But that traditional one, just settle it with your husband. Quietly go on Sunday and do your blessing.
And
And
everyone,
again, host, remember when you started, I made something clear. I'm a daughter of a widow, okay? And I take so much pride in my mother. She had 8 of us until we lost one not too long ago. Out of that number, 8 of us, everybody in her home is a graduate. Okay? And she paid through her pain and suffering to make sure everybody went to school. When she was raising all of us, nobody contributed.
Yeah.
Let me give you guys a little story. There was what happened when my first sister that got married, she got married and another one died in my family. And you know the way they will come and do a canopy and all of that, set those things in your family, because that's where the one we came from, right? In as much as the burial will be in her husband's place. So because we went to for a wedding, for my sister's wedding in Jos at the time, we were not home in the village. They now said that they need to bring home. My mother said her house keys are in the city where she lives, and nobody in the village has a key. They had to wait until they were coming every morning. They will come and sit out in that canopy they made until we return home. When we return, men were giving her 5 naira for their contribution towards their daughter that got married, right? One man that is the oldest in my own family refused to give 5 naira. Rather, he started causing confusion and causing trouble. By the time we came back from Jos for the wedding, we went straight to the village. All the things all the fried meat. It was very helpful to attend to people that were gathering. You understand? That man refused to contribute 5 naira. I didn't say 10 naira, 5 naira. And he was there making noise. My mother kept quiet because she knew that your mother were waiting for her to say something so that they will find her. She's also from my village, so she knows the rules. She kept quiet. By the time they finished, and she now said the few days we spent in the village, she now told her when we are leaving, she now started saying, speaking out loud on the street and be walking, that she's leaving, she's going to her father's house to go and report at that man that was causing confusion that day. With little alcohol, those village men can just mess up your whole arrangement.
Can scatter the event.
Yeah, so that thing came up. And when her man was causing confusion, one or other of our uncle now told him, sit down. Simply because they asked you to pay 5 naira. That's why you're here making noise and shouting up and down. Do you even know where this your wife you're claiming is my wife, my wife? Do you know where they live in the city? How many of the children do you even know what class they are in? It became a big, kind of argument between those men. And the one that was, putting it to the other one that was coughing was a very rich man at the time. Very, very rich, Then the whole thing, 5 naira, I said. And it was that my sister, my mother made sure she fulfilled the Omona list. She fulfilled the inner family list, everybody's list. She made sure it was fulfilled so that she can put it to one or all of them. She said she did that as a sacrifice. She has 6 daughters. Subsequent ones, everybody were aligned. Because then after that thing, the next one came to get married. My brother-in-law was like, mama, this is what we can afford. We have said, okay, fine, that's fine. Let me go and present it to the Omona. When my mother went there, she told them, first of all, my in-law said he can only do this one, the big traditional marriage, that he cannot afford it. And I'm going by it. Then some people raised their objection. I said, no. See, I raised them by my chest, hitting her hand on the chest. If anybody can say, yes, I paid 5 naira, let the person rise up. So you can't come and mess up my situation. 6 children, 6 girls, so that they will now burn Najano. That is not happening. If they
No.
find anybody that wants to marry them, according to what upon your list, I keep saying this. Your brother is from my local government. He should also make that inquiry. There is this one you pay the bride, the one that comes with dowry, and the one you settle the father's, the bride's father and the bride's father's inner family is affordable. That's why carpenter in the village can marry, a laborer in the village can marry, pan wine teller, they all have wives. They are not complaining about these millions. They are not even paying more than 100,000. But when you now want to show off and do the big traditional marriage, you set up beautiful canopies. That's when you're looking for trouble. So if you know how you fit in, where your bag, your pocket can suit in, go for it. Let women to just come down from their high horses and forget the Instagram and go where their hands can reach. That's the way to go.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, Wanyoma Oyoyo. Thank you. Esther's Chronicles, do you agree with this?
You see about what I agree. It's about
No,
everybody.
no. No, we are rubbing minds on the way forward for women. You understand?
Since you just do you agree with this? I see we are JB.
His opinions, I know opinions need to be respected actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what she has said is it's good if you have somebody to stand for you, somebody to speak for you. But my concern is, what about those people that are voiceless? And that's why you just eat it on God. And then coming back to issue of the marriage or no marriage, the truth is, I know that I might also be the only person. It's not everybody that will marry.
Yeah.
In African
I agree
community,
with you.
we take these things too personal, and people are depressed, people are destroyed, people are damaged. Marriage is not for everybody. Childbearing is not for everybody. It doesn't mean that you will not still going to fulfill your destiny. That's why people are dying on the tables of fake doctors. People are dying of this. I'm sorry to use that word. I know it's against whitey, but people need to just live one day at a time. And even if you are 50, and you know, Mother Teresa did not marry, but she had a good legacy. Marriage should not be the last thing. Oh, because they
And
did not allow
millions of
me to marry
children.
the man. And they did not allow me to marry the man. It doesn't mean that everybody is a witch. No. Try to sort out things. Try to not burn bridges because you want to marry. Try not to just go and get pregnant because you want to marry. Because when the ships are down tomorrow, family is still who you are going to run back to. Forget it, there be everything that we can.
But now this same family, now then go use and they cause person. It's still the same family that will frustrate the woman's life. It's still this same family that will tell you that all your mates are married and they have children already. It is this same family that you cannot drink water in peace and drop your cup.
See what Esther is saying. What Esther is saying is right. I don't want to believe when Esther is talking about family, I'm looking at it as the nuclear family, your siblings, your parents, you understand? Not the extended family. Your parents, no matter how you fight or how your siblings fight, when the chiefs are done, that fight is over. We are looking at how to unite. But those extended families, even those that they can't even pronounce your name very well because they've not seen you in 15 years, okay? Those
And
are the ones that will
always go back to them for validation in the first place.
That's the thing.
Why do we have to always say, because I want to marry, come and see my people? And when you say come and see my people, I mean my uncles in the village. Why can you not just be my parents that took care of me, that suffered for me? You understand? Because sometimes we do these things. When I was also going to get married, my dad was already late. And then my husband was going to come all the way 6,000 kilometers. I'm not going to take him to the village. I have an uncle that can deputize in Lagos. And one of my uncle in America was telling my uncle in Lagos that we should go to the village. I didn't need my uncle to reply him. I was replying him, will your daughter go to the village and pay bride price? Then he didn't say anything. Why do we have to give these people power over us? It's because it's the power you give to them. You want to marry, your mother is in Lagos, she's the one that suffer. Why can't your mother just look for one uncle that is understandable? Why will your mother say, let's go and see Omuna? Excuse me?
See, Esther, it depends on cultures and communities. In Igbo land, is frowned at, but these days things are beginning to change.
It is done these days.
Things are beginning to change.
People that always frown, when it comes to their own, they will defend it. I don't want to mention a very big man of God in America. When he is always against same sex. But as soon as one of the child started thinking towards that direction, he started preaching love towards those people.
Mm-hmm.
These people have a way of turning the coin, so we shouldn't be falling the victim. I say people will mess you up. They will do all sort of things. They will make peace with God and they will make heaven. But you need to borrow sense, even if you are a Christian. You need to borrow sense, even if you are
Borrow sense.
you need to borrow sense and stop giving people powers that they don't have over you. So my last word on this will be, as a young lady, do the right thing. And when I say the right thing, even if you're born in a poor home, even if there's nothing in your home, like I like when Chike TV was sharing, say, I'm a village girl. This is my testimony. Diligence is key. Doing what your hands find doing. Don't be waiting that is when the man will come and marry you that the story will change. Because people want to force themselves. I have to marry the guy because he has 10 containers. Who told you that when you step, so many things. Be an individual yourself. Follow God. Work. If you're going to school, try to get a job. If you do not go to school, try to get a skill.
Handwork.
Handwork.
Yeah.
Handwork. Just get a
where go give you food.
If you are a value, all this one will they talk. Even if man doesn't really have, there's a way he will talk. Some men will want to come and marry somebody's daughter. They will even be arrogant. When somebody is coming to marry and they're already arrogant to your family, the day he slaps you, if your uncle come, he will beat. So many things that can prevent. And that's why when it comes to marriage, I'm not sabi. I don't know how to coach. Some people, if you are not matured, don't go to marriage. Maybe it's not your time. Just wait and don't be suffering people's daughter. If you cannot pay bride price and I don't know. Sorry.
Okay, let me complete it for Esther. There is this guy that said he wanted to marry, so he started calling my husband and all the brothers in the US to contribute money. Do you know my husband? That's why I said let me complete it for Esther. My husband said, wait. He called you that he wants to go and marry. Oh, that's good. Congratulations. After my husband said congratulations, they no egeji yaga. I said what? Egeji what?
So did you people contribute money for the bed for him?
They did, though. They did. Host, they did. They contributed money for this guy, and he married. Up to today, they are still feeding them.
No, exactly. They will call you when they want to give birth. Uncle, my wife is in the hospital.
Yes, their school fees. They are still sending.
Imagine.
School fees.
Hey, somebody needs to be helping the man hold the wife's leg too.
Those kind of men
while he's performing his duty.
They don't have problem. They are not paying bills. They don't know what it is to pay bills.
Yeah.
That is it. That was what happened last time. My husband has children, and one of the daughters wanted to get married. The man said he's a politician, and there's no position. The question, what are you doing? He said, I'm a politician waiting to get a position.
Yes. Career.
Now, my husband said, you want to marry my daughter? You think I pick money from America? Maybe I'll be giving you people food. It's not done anywhere.
Oh, a politician in Nigeria.
Wow.
No position, no nothing. When did you graduate? He said 2010. You graduate 2016. You graduated since 2016. Up till now, you've not gotten anything to do, even though there is no job in Nigeria.
He said he's a politician. Now, politician, Dino Melayo, they're not be politicians then.
Wait.
The man want to come and set his company in your compound, your husband's.
Yes.
Politicians are career.
Don't mind this boy.
Yes, that is what happened. So he was like, he brought his people. Last year we were home, so he brought his people, and my husband called him privately and said, before when he came, he called him. He told him to meet one of his brother, and he asked the brother to investigate the man, because now my daughter is not saying anything about what the man does and how she will be taken care of. Because what I have in mind is, what tomorrow they will come back and tell me that there is no food in the house, and he's beating me
And
because of
definitely your daddy will send.
yes, because I did not send money. He is beating me. Because I I was like, you are right though, because the man will want you to send money every time. And if he did not send money, he would beat your daughter. So my husband was so scared. So when we went to the village, the man came with his people, they came with 2 cars, his friends, like a Ndebirelo one, After that day, luckily I was in the right mood. We have to give them food. After eating my okazi soup, he didn't know that my husband would not accept him to do anything that day. His compound people were like, uncle, your in-laws are here now. Let them start doing something. He called them one side that this person just came to see whether he will marry my daughter. It's not that he is my in-law yet. So the man now had a meeting with my husband, and then they sat down in a separate place, and he asked him, what do you do again? He said, I'm a politician. Which position and which local government or which states are you occupying?
He's carrying back for Gino Melaye.
The man was like, we are working on something. If my party wins, I will get a position. They may give me councillor, they may give me this one. Okay.
Oh, but the guy don't see money back.
I tell you, there's a problem, even he passes. So the man was like, after explaining, then my husband told him that, you see, you have to look for something to be doing. Go and look for a job.
Get out of my compound first.
You know I'm laughing. I can't help it. Oh my God, and spoil the guy show like this now.
No, be smart. If you see the show that day, came with many people. Why? He was just called, come, let's talk. That was the call. Not to come and pay anything or to do anything. In fact, there would have been a time it would have gotten that he would be asking her to go and get money for them to do this thing. He will not even allow us to do what we want to do ourselves or as a family. He would be requesting it, and if the girl didn't bring, he would beat her. That is what some men
Which
like
is what
that
some men are doing.
Yes.
Some men, when you know that the girl is from a rich home, they frustrate her, and then because she loves the man so much, especially these ones that are in love, she will always run back to her father or to her mother for
so
money,
come and
her
cry
siblings.
for money.
Yes.
So
that is the politics.
the man did not marry her because he has to go and look for a job. Even though he's teaching job with your certificates, at least every month that 50,000. Now I think you would have been getting promotion, so that by the time you work for 7 years, your promotion would have yielded more income. You would have had something you are looking up to while you're doing your politics. But this one, relaxing and doing politics, and you want to marry someone, tomorrow headache, you will call the girl's father. Anything you will call the girl's father, that he will not give him the answer. Yes, he should go and do something. Do you know that
That's
this man
a politician
left?
without portfolio now? Politician without portfolio.
Yes,
no,
this man left, and then he didn't come back again. He
Hey.
never even look for a way to look for something to do. Yes. So
He go
he
hammer
left.
soon.
Yes, he
He
left.
go hammer soon.
So in this situation now, his father, her father did not stop her from getting married. Rather, it's the choice she made. Because if the man was doing any little thing, his father, her father would have, settled her just like he did. He has already done. But in a ground that at least the place my daughter is going, she will see food to eat until they grow and hold something good. But this one, nothing. It's so scary. So most parents will not allow the man to even do the credit letter. Because the credit, there will be no payment. Even the girl you're giving will not
never fail.
Survive it. And some of them will be suffering in silence there. And the shame will not even allow them to call you often to say, we don't even have food. Or the doctor wants me to give birth through CS. And my husband doesn't have money to pay. And you will see her want to go and attempt to die. Because they want to go and kill themselves over little issues like this. So
Imagine.
marriage and
Oh, sweet
yeah.
chat. So many not get in the chat.
At all.
Host.
Yeah?
I say kindly read chat now. So many people are dropping comments in the chat.
Okay. I've been just pinning them, and it's still done in the village. When someone doesn't have money to marry, a wife will be given to him. Cornelius, really?
Yeah.
Okay, got to go with him.
Oh, so you will see that it's the widow's children they always give. You cannot go and give some.
Not the rich man's children. Not the rich man's children, honestly, because the rich man's children, I mean, you cannot be doing anything and you want to marry a rich man's child now. You cannot. Honestly, in fact, I think we just have to draw the curtain here. And thank you guys so much for this amazing contribution. So, like, okay, right now, the conclusion, the way forward, like Oyoyo, let's start with Oyoyo. The conclusion, what's the way forward now? Just briefly, in a nutshell. Then we'll go to Octavia, Cora, Esther, and then who else do we have here? Every other person here, Chieke and the delicious Sammy. So Oyoyo, just in a nutshell, what would be your advice to women, to parents as well, and even to any other person, even to the men in question?
All right, thank you so much, host. I wish what we are saying here will really get to our village people and our communities, especially the east. That's where these problems are. It's very, very huge in the eastern Nigeria. But unfortunately, we cannot change tradition. We cannot change those customs, okay? Then since we cannot be able to change anything in terms of the tradition and custom, because if we try to, they will say we want to westernize even to the one their father left behind.
So women are championing the cause now. They call them feminists.
Forget those people, I beg. So since we can't be able to change it, what our advice is, when a lady is interested, especially when these things are not too much if a man is doing well. All these things we are talking is when a man doesn't have enough, you understand? Or maybe when they are so young and they want to start young and start early and all of that, coming out from schools, no job, nothing, and then they found something small that their hands are doing and they want to settle down. If you can afford it, you can go ahead and do the needful and then leave. If you cannot afford it, talk to those your in-laws, your brides-to-be's father, mother, and also complain. Don't go and be forming big man where you have nothing. And your woman should not be representing you in a big ladder when you are just below on the ground and they are pushing you up. Be real to yourself. Be real to who you are. And then when it now boils down that this is what it is, somebody are falling in love with, when you go to do the bride price, pay bride price, collect your wife and go.
Yes.
You can come back 15 years after and do traditional marriage.
Yes.
Thank
But
you.
pay bride price. Once you pay that bride price, the church will wed you. You go to court, they will wed you. You are
Yes.
legally married, even if it's 100 naira that is the bride price. Pay it.
Yeah.
Take your wife and go. The ceremony, traditional marriage,
Yes.
that's the ceremony, can come
That's the
anytime later.
ceremony, but the main bride price has been paid. Once that is
Yeah.
paid, the woman is a wife already.
Yes.
Yes.
So people should cut their clothes according to their size, not according to what the society is depicting. No, not according to Instagram. Chinwe's wedding will now become the standard for people. No.
Mm.
One day Maya also got married and he did not break the bank.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you, gorgeous queen. I really appreciate you. I have you here. Thank you so much for this great contribution. Trending gist, let's just hear your final word, queen. Gorgeous.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I will come from the traditional aspect. I feel like we, the sons and daughters of the soil, should at least invest some time in knowing our cultures and traditions, the do's and don'ts. I feel like some of these elders, they take advantage of the fact that we do not know. So they tell us things
Mm.
that maybe our forefathers never ever stated or recorded anywhere. So I feel like if you're someone that you're in a situation where you see that it's getting tough and truly you know that the person you want to get married to really cannot afford those ridiculous and outrageous things that are really not necessary, then you should be able to stand, pick up our traditional drinks, and tell those elders that you are going to stand on the soil with your bare foot and challenge them that you're going to call on the gods. You're going to go to the central deity of your community, because at the end of the day, they will pour that wine on the ground. They will break cola. They will make
I am
incantation, and you will
loving this
tell them
woman. I
that
am
you have
loving this
learned
woman.
you have learned by seeing them from childhood doing all this, and that you will call on the gods of the land. And if your family have a special deity that you will call and summon each and every one of them, and let them know that this is what the man you want to marry has. This is what he can afford. And let the central deity of your community and that of your family judge between your family and your husband. And let us see them if they will still sit down and give you that ridiculous list, or they will adjust it and tell you to bring what your husband can the man that you want to marry can afford, because they are doing it traditionally. So you have to follow them traditionally and leave the Christianity first, even if you are a Christian, because this we're talking about our culture and tradition, and that has to be respected also. So that's just what I
Wow.
will say. Know your
Thank
right,
you.
know your culture and tradition. That's it. Follow it up that way.
Thank,
Thank you very much.
thank you. Thank you very much. I love this angle. Thank you very much. And if they can stand, then they should come and stand. Eh? If they want to stand and challenge the deities, then they should come, because they have to come with clean hands. Offer
They
no
will run.
truth. They will run.
They will
Thank
run.
you so much. Thank you. I am loving this woman. Thank you so much. You're being real and honest here. Thank you so much. Esther's Chronicles, gorgeous woman of God. Let's hear your final thoughts on this and the way forward, just in a nutshell, for young ladies, for breeding parents, and even the community at large.
I just want to ask the question: is that trending gist? Is it male?
Yeah,
It's
she's
a
male.
it's male. Yes, it's male.
Because
Male fitness coach.
the voice sounds so similar.
Yeah,
So
she is.
okay, greetings. So I'll just say that really, based to add to what everybody has said, the woman or the young lady as a person, the individual first, have something doing in such a way that you can support the man. And then for the
Yeah.
greedy parents, they really need to see the evil that they are causing the young girls, especially the ones
It's
that
too
don't
much.
want
It's too much.
the ones that don't
Yes.
want to go contrary. I don't want to disrespect my family. For some girls, they will just run away with the man and nothing.
but they really need to sit down and see the evil that they are causing. And that's why you see some girls, they will marry and they cannot even come back home because of,
No.
and for we ladies, some of us, some of people, from ladies, once they are fall in love, you start telling your husband everything. This uncle was not nice to me, this uncle was not nice to you. Understand all those things. So parents on their own, and we are still going to be the parents tomorrow. Someday all
Yeah.
this other generation will be gone and we will be the one delegating. So we need to start
Yeah.
taking cue from trying not to be like our forefathers, because sometimes we say let's do it the way our forefathers are doing it, and it's not
Mm.
getting better. I believe in tradition. We need to respect our tradition, but nevertheless, we need to continue to abolish what is not working. And then
Yeah.
as for the parents, and there's one other party again, the young lady, the parent, and what's the third one? Anyway,
Yeah, no, I said like the community at large, because we make up the communities, and then
that's just
whether
my
we like it or when a young lady finds herself in this situation where the parent is not budging, the community are not budging, what's just the way forward?
yeah, and then it's just, I think a lot should be done in the eastern parts. It's really not nice what is happening in that part, and that's why I cannot relate to so many things, but I know that people are facing it. So it really, and above all, pray. Prayer is also the key. God can touch the heart of everybody. If you can do what trending she said you should do, challenge them with the gods of the land. But if you cannot do that one, still pray. But above
Yeah.
all, let's borrow sense and do what is right for you, yourself, and at the end of the day, now everybody go chop breakfast.
Hot or cold? Now God will help us. Thank you so much, gorgeous Queen. I'm so happy that you jumped on this today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this great contribution, Queen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we have delicious Ami. Ami, one yoma. Let's see, check you're the last year. Just file here. Just wait here.
And the last year now.
All right.
Delicious
First of all, I
Ami.
want to say First of all, I would say that everyone has made very, very, very valid points. I just want to buttress Yoyo's point where she said, "Be true to yourself. Be true." I will never believe, and I will still not believe that you are not married because of bride price. It's a lie. It's not true. There's something you are not telling us. It's just like what Mom Yoyo said. He said, "Be true to yourself. Talk to your parents. If your husband has 2 naira, in fact, tell them he has one. He has 1 naira." So that they can, know how to, organize that thing. That in one way or the other you get married. Even the poorest people in villages marry 3 wives. Is it now you that cannot marry even one? You understand? And also what Mommy Esther said, she said as a young lady you should support. A man is planning to come and marry you, even if it is 5 naira, give him his support. It's still part of the love. After all, Valentine's Day used to buy him flower. You understand?
We
Even
used
if
to
it
buy
is
him
five
boxers and
thousand, give him.
singlets.
And hey, as women also, we should also support. Let us not say it's the man's duty. We know it's the man's duty, but even if it's 5,000, that man will never forget it. Support him. If you feel that your elders are becoming more troublesome, just do the bride price and go home. In the next 10 to 20 years, more doors will open. If you now want to do big wedding, no problem. But sure, you see that bride price that is not expensive, that is essential, please do it. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm Dalile. Thank you so much. Cheke,
Eh?
Wanyoma,
Eh?
the village woman.
The
Cheke, the
village
village woman.
woman.
She said she's a village woman. I love you, this
If
woman.
you
I
see
love you. I love
if
you.
you
I
see
love
my
you.
if you see my farm for village, hey, I love farm oh,
I
and I
love
miss
that.
farm. I love where
Cheke,
I came from.
Cheke.
Yes, ma'am.
See, this village woman you're claiming, eh? I
Yes,
know
ma'am.
see am for that skin, oh. You know,
Village
look like
woman in California.
no wait. She
Living
don't
in
look like person
California.
where sun beat. You don't look like person where sun beat ever.
See her
So
skin like egg. Or see the village woman.
which
You
village
see,
woman? And
you
you're
see,
shining like this. And what where?
Jupani and
you see. One thing about life is I don't know what to say about it. Honestly, I feel that I am marveled about how maybe things are, you know. Like some people will not believe it if someone tells you, but it's good that I'm telling you. It's good that I'm saying it myself so that there will be no doubt. But unfortunately, people are still doubting me.
Because you look too beautiful.
That is how it is. It's just that when I come back from farm, I use hot water to press my body. Especially during rainy season, when we go to weed grass or plant cassava or anything, when we come back in the night, so the water will be very hot. I think that is what helped me. Those water that when you're bathing and it runs from your back to your bottom area, you will shout and scream, with the towel we are using.
Wow.
So because you guys are not farmers, you don't even understand what I'm talking. It's only a
I'm
farmer
a
that
farmer,
will know.
people. What are you saying?
You don't, but
I
why is it
understand.
that you're not talking about what I'm talking? Or you
No,
didn't go to
because we
farm
farmed in different ways. We farmed in different ways.
You know, do farm, my sister. If you shake my hand now and I run, you go run. My hand is so strong. My husband don't buy cream tire. I just ask him to leave. It's because of how I grew up. I work
Oh
farm
dear.
from morning till night every day. I was at the
And God,
university. I
God
can
has
only
blessed
attend
you.
class for 2 days, and then the other days for farming. I was at secondary
God has
school.
blessed you.
The same thing happened. So, but now I'm not farming again. I do miss
Yeah.
farm. Yeah.
Oh,
God
So,
has
okay.
blessed you.
yeah, I just want to encourage anybody that will see this video, uh, just don't give up upon yourself. Like so many events, so many things have made me in life to like say, oh, I'm giving up, but there's one spirit inside me that always tell me that you are strong. You don't have to give up. If you want to marry a wife or you want to marry your husband and the money, the finance is not there, you guys can come up in good terms. Everybody have given their own advice here, and we have taken them, and I wish that this video will go to many people that will need it and then take good
Amen.
advice. Yes, put it in practice
Amen.
so that they don't waste their time, they don't waste everything that concerns them. I don't know whether I will start running a course now, like to begin a campaign to tell young women, especially women, that you see, you need to start hastening up. You don't need to waste time. Stop,
Hmm.
stop makeup, stop hair. Hair will not help you. Stop buying, expensive things for yourself. Think about, I used to always say that, think about your inner self. That is the
Hmm.
beauty you need now. The beauty you need is your inner self. Let's just minimize the outside beautiful making of fine hair all the time. Those are expensive.
Hmm.
We can cut them short, can cut them off a little bit, and then focus on how to better our lives. If someone is up to 30 years and a man is coming to marry you, that man has potentials, and it's just that he doesn't have the money now. He's a good man, but no money now. And you have money, you go and buy hair of 100,000 naira.
100,000 a pekan, and na-ekwu okwu 300 to 500,000 to buy
Is
it.
it someone we count it and give to? Even as I am now, if you give me the 300, I will save it and buy the one for
Carry one
20,000.
duplex on their head.
By the grace of God, I'm buying 20,000 naira head now. But you should, like what I'm saying, the 20,000 naira hair is expensive. In as much as I can afford it, I still look at it that people still need something out of it. So people should
Hmm.
just, like women, let's just like think about it. I don't know if I will be using myself as example, but I don't know how to like come up all the time to broadcast myself and my life. When you get to age, it's getting difficult to get pregnant, to have children. So by the time we
Sis,
finish
I
the
feel
beauty,
you. I understand that.
yes, if they will understand, and then avoid the mistake
Stop
that I
wasting
have
time
made.
on irrelevant things.
Yes, get married and have the child, have the children, and start struggling to, everybody they struggle, even though rich or poor. Everybody struggle. You
Bill
cannot say,
Gates is still working, no.
ma'am,
Bill Gates is still working.
God bless you.
Oh,
Working, traveling from one place to
From one
another.
place to another.
Another.
Hardly
That is his work. Jesus. What happened?
No, you're still here.
what happened? We are here.
Did we lose her?
I was just like, I'm just like giving advice that, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. We
Can you hear
you.
me?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
hear you.
We can hear you. I think
Okay.
maybe she's having network. We can hear you. Welcome,
Alright.
Benedicta.
So my advice is just simple. If they can,
we can
okay.
hear you.
Yeah,
I think it's
let people just learn how to avoid
Yeah, her network is coming on
It's
and
her
off.
network because she's frozen right now. She's frozen right now. Okay. Anyways, just in case before she comes back, okay, yeah, it's her network. She just wrote now in the chat that it's her network. Welcome, Benedicta. Please kindly smash the like. Thank you, man, your man. So guys, I think you all have said it, like you've wrapped this up. You have concluded this, and this is nothing but the truth. Women need to learn to also cut their coat and then support, like you all have mentioned. If the man can do the basic thing, a woman can support, so long as there is love and they both have good intentions towards one another, this can be done. And then aside that, do not blow the man's trumpet more than he is. Don't raise him to where he is not, because you want to show off to your parents or show off to your friends. All those show off, at the end of the day, when they now build the man, they are building him based on his capacity or based on the picture that you have painted him, the picture you have given to them. Onwenka, he has this one, he has house here, he has house here. They will start building him that way. And sometimes these things are not true. These things are not true. And then to parents who are greedy, how would you feel? Your daughter is already in her late 30s or early 40s, 50, going there, and then nothing because of the heavy bride price. People just hear that you are from this community, they take off. They hear from your here, they take off, leaving young ladies desperate, single and desperate. We all can do it. We just need to put collective effort towards abolishing all these unnecessary expenses. And for ladies, guys who don't have the resources, please do not fake your life. You don't have to go and borrow money just to please anyone. Do the basic thing. Do the basic and carry your wife home. Unebido from there, start from there. Then few years down the line, you can go and settle everything when you are financially stable. You know you are owing them, but you know what you are not owing them is not the main bride price. Stop showing off the moment you come for Ikwaka. You carry expensive like Hennessy. You know you don't have it. You go and buy Hennessy with the little amount of money you have, and then you come and come for Ikwaka. At the end of the day, they will look at you that you have the money and start billing you. And nobody said you must do the 3 types of wedding at the same time. If you can do just the imego is different from the main traditional ceremony. Imego is the basic bride price, the basic, not the dowry, because the dowries are those other things that comes with it. But the imego, the main bride price, you can do it and take your wife home. Later you come and if you want to do the traditional marriage ceremony, you do it. And then if you choose to do church wedding or white wedding, you go ahead and do it. Then let it be that you have the resources. We all must not do church wedding. I personally removed it because I know I don't need it. And I did the court wedding later, which is very basic, which is the most important for me. My traditional marriage and my court wedding. For those who know that, who feel, okay, no problem. For those who feel that church wedding is very important, then wait some years later when you are balanced, you cannot go for church wedding or church blessing. Let us learn to cut our coats according to our material. It's part of the problems we are having. Yes, we know the communities are contributing to this. We equally know that, yes, some parents are very greedy. We know that some women don't want to even bring their head down because they want to buy everything they see in the market. And we also know that there are some men who are, but we have to help ourselves. You are matured enough to go and marry. Go and pay the basic thing. Ask them how it is done. The main bride price, they will tell you, pay it. If the parents of the girl said, no, you're not going to do that one, search a poaka, go and look for another girl. She's not the only fish in the water. That young lady is not the only fish. Don't waste your time. 10 years, you are still struggling, looking for money to go. Like a lot of people have said, yeah, it is not the bride price that is the problem. It is that cumbersome thing that accompany the bride price. You want to call DJ, you want to spread canopy everywhere, you want to buy expensive clothes, you want to do this. These are the problems we are having, and that is why a lot of young ladies and young guys who are matured enough to start raising family are still single. We all have blames. The community have blame. Some parents have blame. Some guys have the blame. Even some ladies have the blame. And then, ladies, you can help your husband. Tell him the truth. Tell the man the truth. Talk to your father, and then even if your father will not show you the list, at least you can beg your father that this is what your husband is, can afford. This is what your husband can provide. He can't do beyond this. And then your father can, understand with you. Don't go and start painting big picture about the man when you know truly well that he doesn't have it. Everybody's to be blamed here. Everybody. So guys, thank you so much for your love. It's been amazing here. Thank you, Trending Gist, Oyoyo Wanyoma, Ami, Esther's Chronicles, Cheke TV. God bless you all. I may not be able to call your name here. Benedict Ezine, Nemuzo, Cornelius Oku Deliv, Olufunke, thank you so much. God bless you. Fabro, happiness for your time here. You've been here from the beginning. God bless you. Sister Winnie, thank you so much. David, Louise, everyone in the chat. Like, I may not be able to call your name. Ziberi, Lucy, thank you. God bless you all. Let's meet again and do this again tomorrow. Same time on Love Night with Spice. Good night, everyone. I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you all. God bless you. Wanyoma Oyoyo, God bless you. Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing night rest. Let's remember, with God, all things are possible. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Good night. Where? Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Wanyoma. Thank you for your love. Benedict, God bless you. Oh, Wanyoma. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. And you're my company, and I call you turn up, and you always come to me. Peace of mind, yeah. You give me peace of mind, yeah. You give me peace of mind, yeah. You give me peace of mind. You give me peace of mind. Thank you all. Good night. God bless you all. Bless you. Bless you all.